What up, King of Kinfolk?
And we on.
Salute.
Salute, fam. What's happening with it? Let me go on over there. D-Lo 404 Boxing in the building. What's happening with it, D-Lo? I put the link in the chat. If anybody want to get on and join and shit. No, YouTube. But we got King of Kings in the building. Social scientist. What's good, fam?
Just chilling, brother.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to get into the Khan versus Brook after, man. And then we can talk about the fight week. Recap on the fight week. Andrade getting his ass handed to him. You know what I'm saying? I know he fucked up a lot of people's tickets, but not MARLO'S. Yeah. I ended up getting Zay in the building. Salute, bro. I ended up getting third place this week too on the fantasy boxing week. Tied with somebody. I think Lisa, what's her name? Tied with me in third place this week. But yeah. But anyway, what you think about the Khan Brook fight, social scientist? What you
I
think
thought
about
that man Khan looked terrible out there, man. Very disappointing.
You pick Khan?
Well, yeah, just because he was working with Bud, you know, my gut was like, man, go with my man Brook. But I was like, all right, Khan working with Bud, you know, they might be able to show him some tricks here and there, but Khan looked unteachable out this motherfucker, man.
Man, he couldn't get away from the jab or nothing.
Yeah, man, that shit was ugly.
Yeah, I picked Brook, but ended up changing my pick after I seen that little weird activity that Brook and his trainer was doing. J1 Pro, salute, bro. Love Grew Japan, salute, bro. What's happening? He say salute, fellas. J1 Pro say salute to the corner. And
what kind of weird activity they were doing, bro?
Man, these motherfuckers drinking. Brook rinsed his shirt off in the cup, and the nigga trainer ended up drinking and sweating shit, bro.
The fuck?
Man, it was on some weird.
I didn't see that ritual.
Yeah, I said, man, these dudes over here clowning, man. I can't take them serious. And I was like, Khan, at least he over there trying to adjust his skills and fucking with Bud and Bomac. You know what I'm saying? So I switched my pick at the last minute and still end up losing that one. That probably would have put me up there. That was a good 10, maybe 15 points possibly. But
sound like we both had the right initial idea to go with Brook.
Yeah. Dino predicts boxing. Salute, fam. He said, haha. Oh, he talking about me changed my picks or that fool drinking a cup of sweat.
And I'm trying to tell you, look, bro. I had Brook all the way. Y'all like I was saying to Marlo a second ago, man. We Bomac, he was over there with, but look, Bomac, other than Bud Crawford, what fighters does he have that are anything to be mentioned of? Like, nothing can fix that chin, bro. And I knew Brook when he fought Crawford, man. He looked at drained, he looked at raggedy, he got slept. But I'm trying to tell y'all, if you've been waiting to get somebody an ass whooping for 10 years, you're going to find a way to get it done. And from that fight told me that it didn't matter if this fight happened when they first was beefing 3 years ago, 5 years ago, yesterday, last night. Brook was always going to hand him that ass whooping. That's why Khan was avoiding that fight, because Brook is and the coldest part. Look, man, the festivities, everything around the fight was perfect, man. That's how you set it off, man. Like UK got some fire fans, man. And everything. That's the thing that I think be missing from US boxing a little bit, is just the spectacle, the entertainment. You get it from time to time, but it doesn't happen enough, So, but yeah, Brook just literally beat him up for 6 rounds. I mean, he just beat him up. And after that fight, man, Khan's face looked, I'm like, man, what was he doing? Like, damn, he was beating the hell out of him, man. But I had Brook all the way, man. I've had Brook for decades in that fight. And he showed why Khan didn't want no smoke, man.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, though. Jamel Herring, he did become, like, they turned him around. I got to give him that, I know they ain't got nobody else, but they did turn Jamel Herring around. So I got to give Bomac and them that.
Well, where's Mr. Herring at now?
Well, he bumped into a guy named Stevenson.
Well, Shakur Stevenson is a phenom.
Well, hey, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that you gotta give Herring, though. Herring by nature is a hard worker. So the truth of the matter is, if you got a dude that's a hard worker, even a trainer that's like a C-level trainer can get something out of him. And he's a disciplined guy. He just not naturally gifted, but he got heart and he trains hard. So that's intangibles. To be honest, that Khan coming out to look, man. If you don't even know nothing about no Shaka Khan, like just the whole feel is like you want to like. I just don't like Khan. He's weird, man. He always trying to be something he ain't, man. It's like, dude, it's like you just ever since that time, like thinking of weird stuff. I mean, it's not nearly as bad as drinking your trainer's sweat, but when he was sitting there and he was just staring at Mayweather, looking all funny back in the day, I was like, this dude's a weirdo, man. Like I love the fight though.
That's for him coming out to that ain't nobody better or whatever by Shaka Khan. That's the shit Bud came out to when he whooped Brook's ass, I believe. So that's what he's trying to get in.
That's what I'm saying. Why you buying this style? Come out to some or whatever it is kind of shit Khan listens to, because it ain't no Shaka Khan.
Trey X, salute, bro. D-Lo in the building, salute.
What's up with it, man? What we got going on with the music and shit? Y'all niggas we at the Apollo or something?
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I was trying it out. I had seen
we in the
that,
lounge in this motherfucker.
we was able to do it and see how it sounds. Is it cool?
I don't even cap, man. I ain't really a fan of it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to come in this bitch.
Look at him, hate.
I ain't
Immediate
trying to
hate.
come here tripping, and that's what I'm just saying.
The Khan team in here.
He said, "What all day."
Hey, man, I can't come here talking no shit, though, man, after my motherfucking showing on that Channel Ross, man. I'm at the bottom of that motherfucker, Khan, man, and a few more people. I can't even just blame Khan, man. My picks were just so bad, man. I got to give props to Marlo for holding it down on the corner and shit. And then I really need my ass whooped because, Lala DB, we be emailing and shit because I be putting her picks in on the Channel Ross, you know what I'm saying? And I send her the results and shit. So she told me, she was like, well, shit, Eric R holding it down. I said, what the fuck is Eric R? She said, man, you know Eric R. That's he a big supporter of the corner. I said, man, I don't know no motherfucking Eric R. And I'm the nigga that put his picks in.
Eric R. staying here, chopping it up with us, man. That's the bro.
I said, who the fuck is that?
Eric R. was up there this week. What place he get?
He was in the top 10 somewhere. I can't exactly remember. He was in the mix. He was your sidekick. He was riding shotgun with you.
Yeah, that's what's up. I was just talking about it too. I said I probably would have got higher if I wouldn't have never changed my pick at the last minute. This motherfucker let his trainer drink his sweat and shit.
Hey, don't be persuaded by the weirdness, man. Don't never do that, man. Like these dudes, we don't understand what kind of like I don't know. This is how they living, but like y'all told me, man, pick by the skills. Because
Haplotype in the building, Lil Rock in the building. Salute, fam. What's happening?
Salute.
D-Lo he said, I'm gonna go ahead and blame it on Bo and Bud. I had killed Brook for 10 years plus and went with Khan like a dummy. Yeah,
what is up with y'all? What y'all last minute changing, D-Lo?
I thought that showed me he was more serious than a motherfucker over there clowning about another motherfucker drinking the cup of his sweat. But
hey, I did the same thing. I changed my pick at the last minute, and I'm knowing that Khan ain't fought since 2019, bro. 2019, this man ain't fought since. And I went out there and picked that shit. And the odds makers had Kell Brook as the favorite. So if you just want to be lazy, you just could have simply picked the favorite and been good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, what about Khan made y'all think he was gonna win that fight, man? Because this, get all the weirdness. Let's just say fighter for fighter. What about Khan made y'all
Khan.
think he was gonna win?
It was just the fact that he was working with Bud and Bomac. I thought they might be able to do something with him. Should have known better after he went out there.
I thought he was going to go ahead, though. My bad.
Yeah, I was about to say I should have known better after he went out there on the verge of Hunter and still didn't do shit. But yeah,
exactly. Hey, I was in Tupac's entourage on me. I could rap, bro.
I just thought he was going to be sharper, quicker. He couldn't even get away from the jab, though, man. Brook was putting shit on his ass. Dino predicts boxing. He said, "What you boys think about?"
Hold on, let me say that. Let me say something though about that. I picked the motherfucker because I thought I'm listening to Bud Crawford. Crawford said, man, Khan working hard. He said, I got in the ring and whooped Khan ass and got him on point. He doing everything that we ask him to do. Everything. He making all the sacrifices. I'm listening to this shit. Kell Brook, he ain't really known for being disciplined and making sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, this might be a good situation. Both of them coming off a layoff, even though Khan coming off a fucking 3-year layoff. You know what I'm saying? But Brook coming off a layoff too. I'm like, man, maybe it'll even out. And plus, when I looked at the box rec, Kell Brook hasn't won a fight below 150 pounds in years. And this fight was at 149. So I thought maybe he'll be weak for the weight class and shit. So I rolled with that motherfucker. Khan, bitch ass.
Motherfuckers, that nigga stopped me from being in the top 2, man. That was 10 points right there for me. If I would have stayed with my original pick, that was at least 10. I think I picked round 6 or 7.
Bud stay hustling, y'all, man. His hustle game is fierce.
Dino, hey, I'm glad Dilo on here, man. I'm gonna chop it up with Dilo about something we were chopping up in his comment section. Dino predicts boxing said, "What you boys thinking about Bud versus Charlo? I want to see it. Shit, I wouldn't mind seeing it too." Haplo said, "What up, Marlo? Trade panel and chat. Salute, Haplo."
As far
That's
as
a damn
Crawford,
challenge.
Hey, let me speak on that right quick, Maul. I've been quiet for a minute. Y'all mind?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Hey, I said, you Marlo, man, you don't have personal conversation about this. I said, if the opportunity ever present itself, Bud ain't got no choice in my eyes but to go ahead and fight Charlo because he keep the man's name in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna make excuses for why that fight shouldn't happen because I've heard people say, and I ain't saying nobody on here, but I've been hearing people say that if Bud go try to fight Charlo, if the Spence fight, instead of trying to push for the Spence fight, that's a duck. And me personally, I want to see the Spence fight first. Been waiting on that thing for a while, but if for some reason they can't make that fight, I can't look at anybody and say they ducking Errol Spence to go fight Jamel Charlo, especially having to come up in weight. But you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, for me, I think both of those tough fights for the dude. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Charlo fight, I think Bud will be an underdog for good reason. But you never know what the odds makers. But I definitely would be a fan of that fight. But I mean, Castano got business to take care of first, and you know what I'm saying? Even if Bud moved up, the belt that he would get a shot at is Castano's belt. That's the WBO belt. And it ain't even a clear path to that because of the Tim Tszyu and all of that stuff. So it really seemed like a pipe dream, to be honest. I mean, it's something that might happen down the line, but it honestly looked like, you know what I'm saying, Bud's best bet is to try to sit there and get that Spence fight and not go running off to nothing else because you can't talk about wanting to fight a man all this time and then when there's nothing else there, go talk about doing something else. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just my position on it.
Hey, let me piggyback that statement though. For somebody to consider going, Charlo is literally one fight from being maybe one of the, if not the best pound per pound fighter in boxing. The undisputed 154-pound champion. Like, I'm sorry, that's not an easier fight to go. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know how I feel about Errol Spence and him matching up how that fight would be. But that's not an easier fight than the fight in Spence. I'm sorry. It's not. I know he got some loss and all that, but that Charlo is a full load at 154. And probably about one fight away from being undisputed. He's going to get that, what's they going to finally get himself together. They're going to get this fight done. And he's going to have all 4 of those belts. And he's going to be the man. The seventh guy that unified a division in boxing history. So I don't know how they can be considered a downgrade. That's crazy.
Black Ham TV in the building. Salute, fam. Rod X the champ in the building. Raymond Knight. Gil Cole just bounced in. Salute, bro. What's happening,
Salute.
But
I look at that situation as real close as far as him fighting Charlo or fighting Spence. But man, I believe that shit when I see it. I got more belief in Gary Russell Jr. moving up and fighting somebody at 135 or 140 before I believe that shit. A man coming from where Crawford started, lightweight,
135,
going all the way to 154. When the fuck he turned into Roberto Duran? This ain't no hating shit or nothing. I'm just looking at the landscape. Like, these guys are big at 154, man. These motherfuckers 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1", 6'7". These motherfuckers got a lot of size. I give him a chance though. He got very long arms. If he fought against Charlo got a 72.5 inch reach, and Bud Crawford reach about 74 inches. So that is comparable. He about 5'8", Charlo about 5'11". Just a naturally bigger man all around. Probably walk around at 180 damn near. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll probably be too big, but I do give him a chance because I do feel like Crawford got the better skill set. When I looked at Charlo against Castano gave Charlo problems because he feints so much. You know what I'm saying? That's how you give problems to a simple fighter. When you sophisticated, you feint the motherfucker. You make him hesitate. You make him think hard. And that's what gives him problems. Who does a bunch of feint? Crawford. Crawford feint like a motherfucker. I can see him freezing them with them feints and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the overall package, as far as the physicality, well, maybe not the physicality, but like the size and the strength and the physical gifts, I don't know if it'll be enough to overcome that. You know what I'm saying? But if you do fight him, I'll give him his props on that shit for being a warrior.
Yeah, I was thinking about what me and D-Lo was talking about. I don't know if he prefer to go up there and do it. I just think that he feel like for the money he want in the fight, that's the fight he gonna have to do. Because right now, Spence tied up with Ugas. Who he gonna fight right now? Who he gonna fight right now to keep? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a decent fight for him.
You got John Taylor out there.
Charlo ain't available either though, Marlo. So I mean he can't get that fight in the interim while he waiting on Spence.
Yeah, they just put that Charlo fight. That Charlo fight got pushed back again. So
yeah, but do you think he just gonna go right up there and fight Charlo right away? He gonna take
no way.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he gonna go right up there and just fight Charlo right away. That's what I'm saying. Who he gonna fight right now though? Even if he waiting on either one of those guys.
If I was him, I'm thinking like, man, just take a normal bum ass fight like you've been fighting, except for
at 147,
and just hold serve and see what's going on with Spence and Ugas, and then make a decision. If you don't want to do that, if you want to put Spence in a position where you checkmate his ass, fight Keith Thurman. Because a lot of people is feeling like it's a chance that Errol Spencer fight Keith Thurman after Ugas. Knock out Keith Thurman so he ain't got nowhere to go except for to fight you. That's a checkmate move, in my opinion. But that's still a dangerous fight, though. You might go out there and get your ass whooped fucking around with Thurman and miss out altogether. So I think he probably should just, hold serve and see what's going on with that fight in April.
Yeah, I think Keith Thurman is the only motherfucker. But I don't know if Keith Thurman gonna take that fight. I don't even know if either one of them gonna want that fight. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Keith Thurman better take the goddamn fight. All the shit he been talking, man. He is not in a position to be passing up on no championship fights, bro.
All right.
Yeah, and I think PVC will endorse that because it's still one of their fighters involved. Whether they win, I mean, shit, they might roll the dice. And if Thurman, like you said, if Thurman mess around, win that fight, they'll be like, okay, cool, we cool with that.
Man, that'll change the game up though. I think the Thurman fight is a good fight for him. You know what I'm saying? For his argument though, you know what I'm saying? He fought Porter. Now he fighting Thurman. He ain't fight Danny Garcia, but that's, you know what I'm saying. That's something to keep him up in there, in the mix and shit. He can keep his argument up. He running through motherfuckers or attempting to. You know what I mean? L-Dub boxing in the building. Salute. That's the law. Lawrence Williams.
Salute. He can say he helped with some of that heavy lifting and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That'll be clear.
Yeah.
But to be clear, I'm cool if that motherfucker fought Riverside Rocky next and just want to see what's going on with Ugas and Spence. I ain't even mad at it. I ain't mad at you. You're just trying to stay busy. Don't want no ring rust. And you trying to get the winner of that fight. And that's the fight we all want. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be mad at it.
What if he fight Mikey Garcia or some shit?
I wouldn't give a damn, man. He can go out there and bring out Marco Antonio Barrera and fight that motherfucker. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand. I understand the situation. Now, if it wasn't, this is in a vacuum. If we didn't have the Spencer Ugas shit going on, I'd be talking shit. Oh man, strength of schedule. But with that shit going on, I think it's cool. I understand.
What if he fight Mikey and stop his ass? What y'all gonna say?
That's still gonna hurt. That's still gonna, but shit, they ain't gonna say that. Ain't gonna mean nothing, bro. Spence wasn't trying to stop Mikey. Spence was trying to show motherfuckers he can box. He was better boxer, way more skilled. He wasn't trying to stop Mikey. They was about to throw the towel.
He did say he was trying to stop Mikey in the post fight press or something. Oh,
That,
Mikey wasn't trying to get stopped. Mikey
Yeah,
wasn't
Mike
engaged.
was
I ain't
violent.
gonna get Spence that and say he ain't trying to stop him. I think Spence tried to stop everybody getting in the ring with it. Just didn't work out that night. That happened. He's boxing.
but Spence didn't fight Mikey like he fight everybody else though, D-Lo.
Hey, this is the only thing I got to say though.
He didn't fight Mikey like he fought everybody else. He displayed his skills. He didn't fight Danny Garcia neither. Like how he fought everybody else.
Hey,
He
I
boxed.
feel like Spence just played his skills against Lamont Peterson, but Lamont willed it, because Lamont was trying to engage. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes guys go out there, they objective is to not get stopped. Mikey wasn't trying to win that fight. Mikey gave up trying to win that fight after about round 2. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody was gonna stop Mikey that night. Not the way he fought, because he wasn't gonna allow himself to get stopped. And he didn't care how much of a shit show he put on in the process.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I'm saying just the style of fight he chose to fight that night gave me my opinion that he wasn't even in there he was in there to whoop on his boy, punish this boy. He wasn't in there trying to end it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I put it like this, but speaking of something Trey X was talking about the third, I don't think Earl wants to fight no Thurman. I think him intentionally not announcing that fight because a lot, we were on the panel and everybody was like, "Oh, they even announced that fight. We don't even know if Earl's gonna be fighting Ugas," and he like intentionally announced it after the Thurman fight because he didn't even want his name associated with him. So I don't think that's gonna happen anyway. So Bud need to go take care of that. But the problem, like you said, is Thurman taking that fight. I don't know, man.
After his last fight, he said he wanted to fight the champions, but we'll see. J1 Pro said I was gonna pick Brook by KO in round 6, but I changed at the last minute. You still pick Brook though?
That was a
Lil Rock,
knockout round too.
yeah. Lil Rock, he's saying salute. Haplotype said never pick Khan over any decent fighter.
Yep,
Real shit.
chocolate brownie.
And then you know what?
Said,
This is what pissed me off too, because when I was thinking about the fight, Khan has never reached the heights of Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? I know Khan had a hell of a career. He done beat some mad motherfucker, Marcos Maidana, some people. But as far as like where Kell Brook was, he knocked off Sean Porter. Sean Porter was undefeated at the time. He was a champion. He was a boogeyman type motherfucker down there. People didn't want to fight him. And Kell Brook went out there and slayed that dragon. You know what I'm saying? Khan ain't never had that experience. So I'm sitting up here looking at all of this shit, and I still talk myself into picking Khan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't make no sense, man. I deserve to be sitting over here looking like a damn fool eating crow this week.
Yeah, I rewatched that Spence Brook fight, man. That was a competitive fight till Spence broke him down and beat him. I mean, that was a back and forth fight. So Khan ain't Brook ain't no slouch, man. He's been in career defining fights where, like you said, Khan. Can we think of one signature win? You can give him the Marcos Maidana, but is that the Marcos Maidana before he had got with Garcia? So do I even count that? I mean, so it's like, other than that, can we even think of any signature fights that he won against a prime fighter?
I can't, but if you look at it,
he beat Devin Alexander in a good fight.
Oh, he beat Devin. I don't know, man. Devin Alexander.
Devin Alexander when Devin Alexander was Devin Alexander.
Was that after or before he lost to Bradley?
That's around the time Devin Alexander beat Randall Bailey, Marcos Maidana, and Matisse in back-to-back fights. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, but I know we don't look at triangle theories, but I do look at the shit a little bit. He got a common opponent with Earl Spence, and that's Lamont Peterson. He went 12 rounds with Lamont Peterson, lost a close fight. Lamont Peterson fought Earl and got fucking destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And like King of Kinfolk just said, that motherfucker Kell Brook, he went toe to toe with Earl down there. You know what I'm saying? He ain't go out like no punk. You even think about Kell Brook when he fought Gennady Golovkin. He had me out my chair, hollering and screaming, "Put the right hand on him, Kell Brook. Come back with your uppercut," and all that kind of shit. Yeah, that's all of the lights. Turn off the lights in here, baby.
Hey, when he threw that uppercut and lifted GGG up,
that's Kell Brook.
The man sang his song now.
Yeah. Yeah, you gonna interrupt me when I'm singing my song and shit.
My bad.
Hey, y'all know the thing about Kell Brook though, it's kind of a mixed bag if you look at his resume. He got he got a really good win over Porter. He lost to the very best he fought. But then Kell Brook got some guys on his resume with some horrible records too. You know what I'm saying? Like some guys that, you question why they even was in boxing at that time. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a mixed bag, but if you got to actually look at Kell Brook, the fighter, and what he does in the ring to really, he just ain't the type of guy you just gonna look at box rec and just be enamored at his record. But when you watch him fight and his his skill set and his fundamentals and that jab of his, man, that's what really makes it stand out most to me.
See, but
So
for
I mean,
me,
I feel like a fool picking Kell Brook to lose against Khan when I think about it.
he kind of top heavy. Like if you look at his box rec, his opponents got over 1,000 losses combined. You know what I'm saying? Like he fought against Peter Buckley, for example. I think Peter Buckley got 300 losses or some shit. It's something like that, man. Peter Buckley got a whole. Yeah, man. Him and it's another guy named Reggie Strickland from the United States. He got like 400 losses or something like that. He got a bunch of goddamn losses. But once you get to the top part of Kell Brook resume, when you start looking at the good fighters, Gennady Golovkin, he showed something. When he fought Earl, he showed something. Sean Porter, he showed something. When you start looking at that kind of shit, then you appreciate who he is as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And if he never fought against Golovkin, who knows what could have happened with Kell Brook? That was one of the dumbest boxing moves that I can remember, like in the last decade or something, as far as Eddie Hearn taking his undefeated fighter and putting him up against Gennady Golovkin at 160 for no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying?
He
That shit was
sacrificed
dumb.
him for the stage, and that was stupid. Because, like you said, I was watching that fight too, and the only difference between Brook and Golovkin in that fight was Golovkin was way bigger than him. Because when he lifted him off his feet with that uppercut, I'm like, oh, the Kell Brook put it in work. But it's just physically, he was just too small, and he got beat out the fight. And then in the next fight, but the funny part is, I remember that at one point in time, this narrative about Earl Spence being a weight bully. Man, Kell Brook is bigger than Earl Spence, bro. Like, and he fights at 147. I just think he's physically strong. He's a big dude, and he just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if my eye was fucked up like that in a fight. I don't know if I would take a knee and I don't know, man. So I can't really get mad at him for that because, like I said, he got 2 stoppages from eyes being tore up and him getting beat down, broken down, and then he got put to sleep. But Amir Khan, I seen him get knocked out by Hector Garcia by a left hand that he closed his eyes and threw. So, I mean, I just could never pick Khan in any fight, man. I just can't do it.
Smart man.
Let me find somewhere in the chat. Stay relevant. Oh, I guess when we mentioned Thurman Gil Cole, talking about now we talking, huh?
Yeah.
When he gonna get his ass up on his panel, though, man?
Yeah, Gil Cole, salute. Where you at, brother? Where the Terminators at?
L Dub said
Yeah.
Josecito Lopez versus Cody Crawley is done for April or May.
We had picked Cody Crowley on the Channel Ross like at the end of last season and shit. I had picked him to win that fight.
Gil Cole said Spence wasn't trying to stop Mikey. And then he put the question mark. L Dub says Spence was pushing for a KO versus Mikey in the 10th round. That's when the Pop was saying he was going to throw in the towel. Did he want me to stop the fight, Mikey? Gil Cole said Mikey's main objective was to survive. Gil Cole said, so y'all want to see Keith put the WBO belt on the line against Ugas 3 belts. Oh, so you saying Ugas going to beat Spence, huh? We're going to see.
Thurman going to beat Dale Butcher. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to see. That's why you ain't doing so good in the chat raw, man, this week. You know what I'm saying?
Put that shit on a parlay. Thurman gonna beat Crawford and Ugas gonna beat Spence. You gonna make a little change if that shit hit.
Mm-hmm. L Dub said
Thurman ain't fighting no Crawford.
Say what, D-Lo?
I said Thurman ain't fighting no Crawford. He made that clear as soon as his fight was over with that he looking at Spence Ugas winner.
L Dub say Khan took Devin Alexander and Collazo to school. Gil Cole said I picked Khan too, like a damn fool. So we all picked Khan, huh?
Yeah, y'all all did.
That he unified with Zab after Zab beat Matisse. He also said, Trey, I got you. He said, I got you. Porter went 10 rounds with LaGreco, and Spence stopped LaGreco in 3. on 48-hour notice. Khan stopped LaGreco on 10-week camp in 40 seconds.
Let me see that. He said, Trey, I got something for you. Porter went 10 rounds with LaGreco. But see, that's one thing about it. Even just the beginning of that shit, man. See, that's one thing about Sean Porter. He the type of person that fight down the competition and shit. I remember when he fought against Eric Bonet. Eric Bonet was giving him all kind of trouble before he hurt his leg. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to triangle theory, putting Sean Porter in the mix, I don't even really like looking at that. But at the same time, I don't think triangle theories are an exact science. It's still styles make fights and all that kind of shit. And I am the reigning and defending champ Ross champion. So I do know something about making these picks. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, just to double down on what you were saying, though, of your examples, both of them dudes have a similar opponent of Chris Algieri. And Spence stopped him, and he was walking Khan down. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Shout out Lala D in the building. Champ, salute, sis.
Salute.
Sis.
Salute.
Eric R in the building. Salute. Eric R holding it down on the Champ Raw. You see the results? I posted them too, y'all.
Yeah, Eric R, man, I need to be ashamed of myself, man, because Lala D, she told me that she seen you in the top 10 on the Champ Ross. And I'm like, man, who the fuck is Eric R, man? I don't know no goddamn Eric R. She said, you damn fool, that's one of your biggest subscribers. He come through every single fucking live stream. I said, man, who the fuck is Eric R? And come to find out, I'm the one that put your picks in the Champ Ross. I had to go look on the community shit. I'm like, oh, man, that's Eric R. I'm a goddamn fool, man.
That CRS is a fool, like.
Hey, he got second. He got second place. Fuck y'all talking about?
Yeah, I'm bad with names and shit, man. But that was bad right there, man. I should know who Eric R is off the top. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, just blame Lala for that bullshit. She confused you.
Hey, hell yeah. Hey, he got second place. I got tied for third.
Yeah, that motherfucker did his thing.
He had 121 plus 7, so he ended up with 128 points. And I ended up with 122 points.
Yeah, y'all did y'all thing, man. I got to come back with something next week. I don't like being at the bottom.
If I wouldn't have changed my pick, I would have been up there, Eric R.
Say, hey, I done got my ass whooped on the Champ Ross, and he tried to fuck me out some points. I had to do a recount on his ass. I'm talking about we in hangouts going back and forth. Nigga, I got 85 points. Nah, bro, you got 80. 85, my nigga, I just counted again. No, I just counted again. You got 80. I'm talking about we going back and forth. This nigga sending me screenshots and shit. Look, bro, this is how I see, but what it was this fight with Arthur Man against that Jazuski dude. In my notes, I got Arthur Man by majority decision, but when I sent it to Champ Ross, I don't know what the fuck I did, but I put him by knockout. And that's where the 5-point discrepancy came from. But nigga, I was sweating them 5 points, you know what I'm saying?
Winston Lee in the building, salute, fam. Eric R said, he said, nigga, you called me out, Trey. He answered the call like a motherfucker, didn't he?
Yeah. Outside of that, though, I'm supposed to know who Eric R is, though, man. That's a damn shame. But I'm going to tell you what it is. It's because you use your real name. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something in my mind that, like, it's about nicknames. Like Marlo, that ain't his real name, so it's easy for me to remember. D-Lo, that ain't his real name. The Kane Dibbs, he done changed his fucking name to a nickname, so therefore his real name became his nickname in my mind. You see what I'm saying? So I can remember that shit. But if it's just a regular name, man, I can't remember.
Derek Bailey in the building, salute, bro.
Salute.
Yeah, hey, we be holding it down, man. There's somebody on the corner is up in that top 10, man.
Yeah.
Overall, Gil Cole's holding it down right now.
I think Winston Lee was up in the top 10 too, if I ain't mistaken. I think about 3 or 4 of y'all in the top 10 this week. Me and Gil Cole, we at the bottom of the list.
Gil Cole was down there with the tumbleweed.
Lala D had her ass down there too. Y'all down there.
He tried to pick them goddamn underdogs. He thought he was finna hit again.
Oh, I thought I had something for him, man. I picked against Mongia and everything. I saw him about that side. I said I got ballot. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to gamble at these boys, man. Mongia went out there and knocked his ass out. What, about 3 rounds?
I think so.
That's a goddamn shame, bro.
Yeah, he was fainting at the weigh-in, so of course you think to pick against him. Dude almost fell out.
And he went out there and
Andrade
made
got his
easy.
ass.
Who almost fell out at the weigh-in?
Mongier.
Dang, I ain't know that.
And then I put my due diligence in. I went and looked at his weigh-ins from previous fights. And he looked totally different, bro. Like he didn't have no kind of muscle mass or none of that shit. Like he just looked like real doughy. And he was sweating. He just looked fucked up. And I went ahead and faded him. Even though I was thinking, man, by hook or crook, he gonna win on the zone. But I just said, man, fuck it. This is my chance to gamble. So I'm gonna gamble at him. And got my ass toe off the bone.
He just fought not that long ago, right? Wasn't that Rosado fight like a few months ago?
See, but the thing is, he was coming off a layoff before that fight, so he basically had like one fight in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And but he was a decorated amateur. He went.
No, I'm talking about Gia.
Oh yeah, he had Gary Rosado fight recently. Yeah,
and then he came off of that fight at 160, and then had this fight at 160 and almost fainted.
He was fucked up there. He looked totally different from his other weigh-ins. So I thought this might be a chance to, you know what I'm saying?
I picked him by decision, but if I'd have saw that, I probably would have picked against him too.
What about Linares? I know y'all picked Linares, huh?
Yeah,
man, I picked Linares by late stoppage.
I did too.
He got his ass whooped.
Well, it was a close fight. He let it go at the end. I just didn't think that dude was fast enough to fuck with Linares. Man, Abdullayev is slow as fucking. Linares got some decent hand speed, throwing combinations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Linares is old and shot worn. That's what I think I'm gonna blame it on.
Yeah, he is. If he was in his prime, he whoop his ass, huh?
I don't know. He was getting stopped in his prime too.
Yeah, but it was like early, like first round knockout.
He was getting stopped in fight. He was winning in his prime.
Hey, I hope this fight go through, y'all. Benavidez versus Andrade. I guess both of them motherfuckers saying they willing to fight each other next. Who y'all got and what y'all think about it?
Man, this clown Benavidez talking about he want more to fight Andrade than he want to fight Canelo.
Yeah, I think both of them got another fight first though.
Yeah,
Zach Parker for Andrade, and then Benavidez versus somebody.
Lemieux.
Hey, what up? Why they ain't run back Benavidez versus what's his name? They done kicked him out of boxing. Yeah, they kicked him out of boxing.
You know, he say, I guess they don't want to fuck with no drug cheat, so they going on with something else.
Yeah, it depends on the drug cheat.
Yeah, that's where he ain't got enough money. You know. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I sure would like to see that if it happened.
Yeah, I got Andrade though, man. I'm not taking no man with 15 amateur fights. So no Demetrius Andrade, man. That just sounds crazy to me, man. The dude is too gifted as a boxer. His skills are just off the chain. You know what I'm saying? He's a bad motherfucker. Got good knee flexion. Make himself a small target. I like the way he throw the combinations, lead right uppercut and shit against the orthodox fighters. Step around move that the Eastern Europeans like to do against the orthodox fighters. He got all that shit. You know what I'm saying? He get kind of sloppy at times. Like if he try to turn you and you turn with him, you can't catch him with a right hand. I've seen it happen. I ain't never said he was perfect, but he is a bad motherfucker. And out of most of the fighters in the fight game, if I could choose to fight like somebody, he'll be maybe number one on the list. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking Andrade. I think he'll beat him 8-4. Yeah. He remind me of the old school, bro. When I look at the old school fight, he remind me like of a mongoose. I think he like the modern day mongoose. That's what comes to my mind when I see him. So I'm rolling with Andrade, man. I think he'll beat him by 8-4. Wouldn't be surprised if it's 9-3 or 10-2. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I got Andrade.
You know, Andrade and Bud is my guys, so I got them no matter who they choose to fight.
Hey, everybody got their picks in. I got Andrade.
I think, man. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think I put it like this. But Benavidez' style is meant to wear you down and try to beat you at a war of attrition. He's not going to do that to Andrade. Andre's going to look at that as his big opportunity. He's going to win that fight.
I don't think he got the legs to fuck with Andrade.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all this. Let's pay attention to what happened with Fundora and Lubin. I know they ain't the exact same people, but to me, that's like a similar type of matchup where you got the southpaw that's very skilled, decorated amateur going up against a formidable physical Latino fighter that's coming forward, making the fight. He gonna step to you and he gonna give up his height. You know what I'm saying? So I think those are similar type of matchups and shit. So I can see the dynamics being very similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Uber gonna take a lot of things away from Benavidez. It's gonna probably gonna end up looking boring to some people. It's gonna be a skill breakdown. Like D said, Trey X, I'm taking the top 5 position this week. Look what you talking about, man.
We're gonna do what you gotta do then. Shit, you need to crack the top 20 for once in your life.
The legendary L Dub said he got Benavidez.
I see. I just looked up and saw this shit.
Yeah, one of them gonna be eating crow that day. Like D said, I
For
picked
real.
Monkey. We done served L Dub plenty of crow. Like D said, I picked Monkey about decision. Like D said, man, Linares fucked me up. Derek Bailey said I had Linares by UD.
Derek Bailey was up in the mix, I think. I think he might have been in the top 10, somewhere up there.
What place you get Derek Bailey? Like D said, and Khan. Oh, you pick Khan too. Eric R said my goofy butt fell for the okie doke. We all did.
Yeah.
Like D said, I sure hope so. Oh, talking about the Boo Boo Benavidez, I think.
Yeah.
And she mentioned Lemieux. Derek Bailey said, did Bud relinquish his belt to move to 154?
Nah,
I don't think so. That's his most prized possession right now, man. Eric R said, I thought Brook was washed. D said, I got Andrade, but even if he were to lose, it's still better for his career than what he got going now. That's real. Eric R said, Andrade will get David. You see how Dog was doing. Yep. It's gonna be something similar to that, I think. But I think Andre gonna be able to handle his ass, tame him.
Yeah, and plus Darrell was standing up straight with his shit. Andrade don't stand up straight. You know what I'm saying? It's a different dynamic, man. I think he's gonna go out there and outbox the shit out of him.
Gil Cole said he got Benavidez. Oh, he said he got Fondura over Lubin too.
I won't be too surprised. I mean, in either one of
them
matchups, either one of them matchups, I ain't gonna just be too surprised because Fondor and Benavidez, they both fight like a motherfucker. But I gotta take skills over that brute strength shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, skills pay the bills where I come from. And that's what I'm riding with.
Wasn't that Fondor last fight? He was getting rocked, wasn't he?
I know he fought this. He fought a southpaw, white boy southpaw one time. That was no, it might have been this brother. It seemed like it was this white boy southpaw song fight that was lighting his ass up one time. Not his very last fight, but like a few fights back.
Yeah, I remember somebody had his face looking real red. Looked like his legs was getting kind of weak in that fight. Gil Cole said, I got Andrade over Maul, though. Bet. Hyphy in the building. Salute, bro. He said Benavidez will get stopped by David Morrell Jr. I don't even think they're going to mention him versus Benavidez right now.
Hey, I want to say this, too. I'm going to pump my motherfucking brakes on David Morrell. Because I've been giving him some shit that I don't give other fighters. Other fighters say, man, let me see you fight somebody that can fight back first. I done seen him in there demolish a motherfucker, but I ain't seen him fight nobody that can fight back. I done seen plenty of dudes, man, they look like they the goods. But when you finally break through and you put that right hand on their motherfucking ass, things change. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him fight somebody that fight back first, and then I'm gonna start giving him praise. Because if I give him praise, I might as well give Jerron Boots Ennis praise. Because as far as the talent and shit, I think he ahead of Morrell as far as natural talent. You know what I'm saying? But Morrell is showing, some potential. But I want to see him fight somebody in a two-way street that's fighting back first, and then we'll go from there.
Derek Bailey said he came in 12.
Eric R in the mix.
Yeah, hell yeah. Eric R said it's something in Lubin. Eric R said Lubin on a mission.
Yeah, man, he done paid his dues too, man. That's something big for me, like in sports in general. Of athlete that done paid his dues. You know what I'm saying? And he done learned something. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. Like Billy Conn say, if you're fighting for a championship, you ain't never took a loss, you ain't never learned nothing. There's something wrong. this man done learned something. You know what I'm saying? He done showed some character. So yeah, I think he got action.
Ivy said, "Where's all the Andrade versus Benavidez discussion coming from? Last I heard, Samson asked for a minimum of $7 million. Shit, just the thought of it. Shit, hoping. You know what I'm saying? They ain't a bad fight.
Dante Boxing Nation released a video saying that they, I guess, agreed in principle or verbally agreed that after their next fights they will fight each other. After David get past Lemieux, well, Benavidez get past Lemieux, and Andrade get past this Zach Parker, whatever the fuck his name is.
Like I said, Benavidez was asked about Morrell. He complimented him, but didn't seem eager to get at him.
Yeah, I think that's probably because he ain't got about 4 fights. You know what I'm saying? So he might not feel like he'll get any kind of credit and shit. If he beat somebody that's more established, they got, you know, a bigger fan base and all that kind of stuff. I know we don't really get into that, but I'm just saying, like, attention, like a lot of eyes on them. I think he'll feel differently. But a guy that come from Cuba, don't even speak English, motherfucker ain't got but 4 fights, it might not be enticing to him right now.
Hey, there we go. You know, L-Dub know it. He said it was Sergio Garcia from Spain was touching up Fundora in his last fight. Garcia fighting Tony Harrison on that Lubin Fundora card. Tony on the upset alert.
Okay, was Garcia southpaw? It seemed like I remember southpaw that was lighting his ass up a little bit. Oh, I know what y'all talking. I see the fight that y'all talking about in my mind right now. I got y'all.
James Dom in the building. Salute, fam. What's good, bro?
Salute.
He said, yo, what's good in the corner? Much love. Just chilling, man, chopping it up on the recap and potential fights we got coming. Hey, we got a good card this weekend, huh, Trey?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what my boy Lil B Hop gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm supposed to call him prime time now, but I'm very interested. He is going up again. I don't really know much about the guy that he's fighting, but I did look at him a little bit. Look pretty goddamn strong. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like when you be looking at the pit bull and you be like, man, look at the head on that damn dog. That's what I was thinking when I saw this dude. I was like, God damn, look at the head on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So he do look like he's strong, but I don't think prime time gonna have no problem with him. Go out there and put that speed and put them skills on him. Head off the center line, ambidextrous, all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited for it.
Eric R. said, Lubin reminds me of Mel when he was hunting for that Harrison 2 fight. L-Dub say, Jamonte Clark is a southpaw that got a draw with Fundora.
Okay, that's the brother that I was thinking about. I knew it was somebody that was a southpaw that was getting with him. Okay, so that's a little bit of evidence right there. So we got a Jamonte Clark is a southpaw that got a draw. So against a southpaw, with the information that I have right now, he got a draw against a southpaw that can fight back a little bit. That guy ain't no Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin, 143-7 amateur. I think he like a 7-time national champion or some shit like that. They ain't even in the same category. So if Jamonte Clark can go out there and get a draw against the motherfucker, I think that Lubin is on another level. Like Jamonte Clark, he might be like a B-level fighter. I think Lubin is like an A- level, B+, somewhere off in there. You know what I'm saying? So I think he got a damn good shot to go out there and beat Fundora.
James Dom said, I'll be loving them early afternoon and late fight weekends. Yeah, I was still at work, man, when that shit was going on. I was getting off, and I think the Khan fight just was finna start.
Oh, he talking about them tour days. You got that UK shit early in the day, then you come back with the prime time United States fights and shit later on. Them do be feeling like boxing holiday. Me and Marlo used to cover all that shit too, nigga. I'm talking about we be on the UK, we do a live stream, we come back later on and do a whole nother 5-hour live stream or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are y'all doing the Josh Taylor card?
What that shit on?
I don't know. I don't know what network it is. I just know that Josh Taylor's fighting this weekend.
ESPN Plus. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I'm really on a little B-Hop this weekend. You know what I'm saying? I like calling fights on TV, man. I like calling it off Showtime. That's why I feel like it belongs. You know what I'm saying? But hey, shout out to Taylor gang. Y'all already know I like Josh Taylor, so I hope he go out there and handle his business. But I will personally be having my attention on prime time Chris Colbert this weekend.
D said salute to prime time. He said he'll fight Gary Russell and Shakur. Someone out there will give Gary a fight.
Oh yeah, let me say this too. L Dub came in and told us not that long ago that Prime Time is fighting for his first real championship this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the major significance for me. I get to see my boy go out there and fight for his first real champ. Not no interim this and goals this or whatever that should be. A real championship. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for it.
L Dub said Hector Garcia, which is Christopher Colbert's opponent, is a Dominican Olympian. He is a southpaw too.
Okay, I kind of underestimated him a little bit because I thought I saw he had like 5 losses or some shit like that. But I haven't broke down the fights for this weekend, so I don't know much about the guy. But that is some good information. He's an Olympian and
He
a
said
southpaw.
he also said it's on ESPN Plus. The Taylor fight, I think he's referring to.
Okay.
Like D said, I want to see Taylor. Eric R said, I hope Mr. Gary Russell versus Colbert happen. He needs to move up to 26. Gonna freeze him out.
Yeah.
D said, let's go Lil B Hop / Prime Time.
Yeah, man. I'm happy about that. Josh Taylor, he is like an 18-1 favorite in his fight this weekend. So I don't think Catterall got nothing for him. Maybe he can step to Taylor because of the inactivity, because he coming off an injury, you know what I'm saying? But as far as fighter for fighter, skill for skill, Catterall can't fuck with Josh Taylor. I think it's a chance to have a more competitive situation with Little B-Hop probably. Especially since L Dub just said the man is southpaw and he an Olympian, you know what I'm saying? And them Dominican fighters be pretty tough.
Oh shit. L Dub said Trey, not this weekend. He said Roger Gutierrez, the WBA champ, pulled out of Colbert versus Garcia, is a WBA title eliminator. Winner gets Gutierrez.
Oh, okay. I got confused about that shit because I remember him saying it was for a championship. I thought it was for a vacant belt, though. You know what I'm saying? But I got you now. I understand. That is a bummer a little bit, but I'm still happy to see Lil B-Hop fight, though, man. It's still one of my favorite prospects. I might be unfair taking him out that number 1 spot for Gary Antoine Russell, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot of respect for the skills of Lil B-Hop.
Hyphy said HFO Hugfest organization. He said champion Haney isn't getting his undisputed fight because the zone doesn't believe in him.
That shit ain't even fair, man. You gonna call the man a hug champion because he got hurt in the fight and he did what he had to do to get through the fight. That man be throwing some real clean punches, man. He do a lot of clean work in that ring. His last fight against JoJo Diaz, that shit was beautiful to watch. You know what I'm saying? So don't put that shit out there like the man just go around hugging and shit, man. Haney be in there fighting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he got skill. D said Adamas is awesome. He's Dominican.
Yeah, he went out there. Hey, that's one of the big reasons that I wanted Champ Ross last season, because he went out there and beat Derevyanchenko. Me and L-Dub, we locked in on that one because L-Dub said, hey, man, Derevyanchenko, he been having some tough-ass fights. And then I said, man, Derevyanchenko coming off a layoff. He said, shit, I got Adamas, and I had Adamas too. And Adamas was a 5-1 underdog in that fight too, you know what I'm saying?
L Dub said Hector Luis Garcia is undefeated, 14-0, 10 KO.
Okay.
Said, go ahead, what you say?
No, I was just saying, okay, that's who I think he's saying B-Hop fighting him this weekend.
D said, I swear I would be so excited if Primetime versus Gary happened. Imagine that in the ring. Oh my God.
Imagine that before the ring. They gonna be talking shit, man, because Primetime gonna talk shit too. He ain't gonna just let Gary Russell Jr. get that shit off and he gonna come back with something, you know what I'm saying? So the build up for the fight will be fun too, man. The press conferences, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? The face off, the actual fight, everything involved to be very entertaining, man. I would love that shit.
Eric R said, I like Antoine Russell, Boots, Cool Boy, and Shakur as my up and comers. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Primetime got to be on there.
The Primetime cold as far as his just straight skill set, man. He fight like the old school generation. That's why I like him, man. Get his head off the line and stuff. Don't be standing up all straight. He got the long arms. He got great speed. he can have a little bit more as far as the power go. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of our best fighters didn't just have the greatest power. Holman Williams didn't have the greatest power. Andre Ward wasn't known for having the greatest power. Floyd Mayweather, towards the end of his career, wasn't really known for power because he had brittle hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't always just about the power, man. I like the skills.
Keyshawn too, Lala. Yeah, I like the skills too, but you gotta have some power though. You gotta have some of that power to keep a motherfucker off you, make some respectable power.
I mean, but it don't have to be a 9 or a 10. I think if you got like some 6 out of 10 power, you can get by.
Yeah, respectable. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just enough to where a motherfucker can't just run in on you unscathed. You know what I'm saying? like Paulie Malignaggi, like that's terrible power, man. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even get in the ring if I was Paulie Malignaggi. I wouldn't even box if I ain't got no kind of real shit. If I can't punch at all, bro, like I don't even want to be in there.
Can't crack an egg around this motherfucker.
Yeah, how Paulie even become a boxer, man? That shit's sad. I thought Corey Spinks didn't have no power, but damn, Paulie had no power. Like
he the poster child for not having power for me. You know what I'm saying?
L-Dub say Antoine Russell versus Victor Postol this weekend on Showtime. Good test for Russell.
That's a great matchup for Gary Antoine Russell. You know what I'm saying? You got a veteran. You know, Postol, I know he got that step back right hand over the top of the jab knockout over Matisse. But recently, he hasn't really been looking like he hitting that hard. You know what I'm saying? Like when he fought against Josh Taylor, when he fought against Jose Ramirez, he was flickering them jabs out there. He'll come back with a little right hand. It wasn't really a lot. So I see him as being like a, cagey veteran, but he don't really pose a threat to knock out your young fighter. That's the type of steps that I like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a step up in intellectual shit, but you won't really get knocked out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what make the card, L-Dub, the Showtime card more interesting than just being tuned into the Taylor. I like the Showtime card overall. Like D said one time, thanks so much. Let me get out y'all business. James Don said, points win more fights than knockouts. Just saying, you got a hell of a point, especially when you step up in competition. You ain't always gonna get the stoppage.
Yeah, but you need the power to get separation in the fight, though. That's why a lot of the time, if you see a guy that got a lot of draws, it be because the power ain't there. Not every time, but a lot of the time, because the power is how you get separation in the fight. Like, let's say a guy got some good speed, and he go out there and put a quick 3-punch combination on you, and then you come back with 1 or 2 hard shots. A lot of the time, you gonna win that round. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you need that power to get the separation in the fight.
Mm-hmm. Eric R said, "I like little." Hey, can you take over for me real quick?
I got you. Eric R said, "I like little B Hop. He got a fighter's mentality." I elaborate what you mean by fighter's mentality, but he definitely one of my favorite young fighters though. How y'all feel about little B Hop? Y'all like him on the panel? Y'all think he a good prospect? Not prospect, but like contender, motherfucker.
Yeah, I like him.
Well, shit,
who you say, B Hop?
Yeah,
Hell yeah. I think he's a good contender. He's definitely gonna be a motherfucking hell of a fight for anyone.
Yeah, Lala D said, Malignaggi, you suck, during and after boxing. Yeah, I'm still mad at Malignaggi about that Conor McGregor shit. I ain't gonna even lie. I thought that Paulie should go out there and whoop the shit out of McGregor, whether you in training, sparring. My bad, man. I just got a fucking phone call. So I thought I had my phone on.
I was like, what the hell?
Fucking, yeah, I thought I had my phone on Do Not Disturb.
You see that bullshit he was talking about George Floyd on there with Steve Kim and shit?
What is that?
Oh man, I had to find a clip for you. He was talking about George Floyd was not cooperating, and he kind of asked to get killed and all kind of crazy shit. Him and Steve Kim, man.
Who, Malignaggi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't even supposed to be speaking on our shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm still mad about that Conor McGregor shit. He supposed to whoop Conor McGregor if they fight on the moon, the sun, Saturn, wherever. You ain't supposed to let no Conor McGregor whoop your ass and then post footage on the internet where you getting dropped and shit all in sparring. That shit made us look bad as boxing fans, bro. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Lala D said Antoine already. Oh my God, I got Russell. Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Russell. I think he'll probably go out there and stop him. I think he'll go out there and stop. I don't think Postal ever been stopped though. He can go the distance if he want to. Like if he want to survive, you know what I'm saying? So I might have to lean towards the decision. Eric Garcia, who hit harder, Polly or Devin? Don't rush. Remember the guy he fought. Polly or Devin? You talking about Devin Haney? That shit ain't even close, man. Devin Haney hits way harder than Polly Malignaggi. Easy work.
Yeah, we were just talking
so
about Abdulayev knocking out Linares. Haney stopped him in 4. And Abdulayev, Haney stopped him in 4.
And broke his jaw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He just comparing him to Paulie. That's fucked, man. Y'all, that's dirty. Paulie Malignaggi is, if you on a scale of 1 to 10 punching power, Paulie is number 0. How in the world you gonna say Devin? Man, that's messed up. Y'all wrong for that.
Yeah. Eldad said Rickendale back this weekend in Dubai. Yeah, I had saw that he supposed to been fighting some motherfucker. I ain't look it up. That shit might be on the channel Ross though. So in the next couple of days, I'm gonna see what's up. Eric Garcia said, guys, he fought. What are you talking about? Don't rush. Remember the guys he fought. Oh yeah, we ain't even got to think that hard, bro. Devin Haney hits harder than Paulie Malignaggi. Hyphy say top rank bringing us Lomachenko versus Kambosos, Stevenson versus Valdez, and Smith versus Benavidez. Best promoter making the best possible fight. Well, you know, he in a situation where he can make the best possible in-house fights. So, like in them weight classes, he got, you know, some of the top guys and shit, so he can put them against each other. But in the past, he ain't been just you know, super flexible as far as them promotional company fights. I don't even like speaking on this shit. I be feeling like I'm sounding dumb. But he is an in-house fight type of maker. So if he got some in-house fights that he can make, he'll make the motherfuckers. But I still ain't gonna forget the fact that I was reading a book and they was talking about how Marvin Hagler wanted a title shot, and it took a congressional investigation into Bob Arum as to why Marvin Hagler wasn't getting the title shot. I ain't gonna never forget that shit. So I ain't gonna just sit up here and sing songs for the motherfucker. Let me go there. Lala D said, why D-Lo and King of Kim folks so quiet? Well, shit, they chilling.
I mean, every time I try to speak, man, I get muted and stuff, but it's cool. You know.
Marlo got you over there timing you out and shit.
Yeah, man, he put me out. Like, yeah, I was getting tired.
That man Cap, I ain't touched that man. He keep bouncing off the damn thing.
Nah, I'm just bullshit. Nah, you guys was talking about Lil B hopping. On be honest, I ain't paid much attention to him to have an opinion either way, so I didn't really say nothing.
Well, check him out this weekend, man. He kind of like a B-level Sweet Pea Whitaker type of guy. That's kind of like what you think about when you see him. Flashy, southpaw. Well, he actually go back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of time he'll fight southpaw. He kind of remind, even the historians, I done heard him say the same thing. He kind of like a low-grade Sweet Pea Whitaker. Eric Garcia said Rickendale is his OG. Lala D said she like him. I guess she talking about B-Hop. Eric Garcia said the way B-Hop carry himself out of the ring, he about that action at all times, as far as I can see. Okay, it was only one thing that kind of just threw me off because him and Shakur Stevenson, they sparred some years back and he didn't bring up the sparring, you know what I'm saying? But Shakur did, and Shakur said he got the better of the sparring. So that kind of stood out to me. But at the same time, if he ain't get the best of it, I guess he shouldn't bring the shit up here. We need to sweep that under the rug somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Eldad said the Irish Olympian Kurt Walker is making his professional debut on the Taylor undercard Saturday. Duke Reagan beat Walker in the Olympics. I might have saw that fight. I probably saw it because I did watch just about all of Duke Reagan's Olympic fights, and I watched Keyshawn Davis. Was real proud of them when they went out there and got those silver medals and shit. And that's one reason why I love the Olympics and shit so much, man, because I get a chance to learn about them upcoming bad motherfuckers that's coming through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's something interesting to check out. We're gonna check out Kurt Walker. Gil Cole said he ride with Prime Time. I'm with you. Lala D said one time. Okay, talking to one time. Lala D said Haney is a great boxer, even if he's annoying sometimes. That motherfucker can fight. Yeah, he can fight. Yeah, he can fight, man. He just he ain't got no power. You know what I'm saying? Hyphy said, Wilder said Fury has pillow fist. Then Fury face planted the motherfucker. This motherfucker Hyphy is super
Yeah,
troll,
hyphy,
man.
man. God damn, you got to get you a activity or something, bro. You need to get you a hobby. Like, did you ever think about building model planes or something? Damn. God.
Like Pecos Bill said, that damn Hyphy, man, super troll. Gil Cole said Ricky better let his hands go this weekend. Hey, he gonna go out there and win this fight, man. I can't see him losing back to back fight. I can kind of understand Max Ayo, you know what I'm saying, but he shouldn't go out there and lose to this guy this weekend, man. I don't really know much about the guy, but he can't just be no world beater. You know what I'm saying? Ricky need to go win this fight. Eric R said, so Devin can keep Prime Cotto honest for 12 rounds. I don't see it, but okay, I respect y'all opinions. So Devin can keep a Prime Cotto honest for 12 rounds. I don't remember none of us picking Devin Haney over a Hall of Famer Miguel Cotto.
They comparing it because of Paulie Malignaggi, man.
Yeah, he's talking about Paulie Malignaggi versus Cotto, but Paulie Malignaggi got his ass whipped for pillar of post in that fight.
Yeah, his deficiency wasn't just the power. Look, Paulie was a okay boxer, but I'm sorry, he just there's a whole bunch. Even the way he used to spread his feet, there's a bunch of things. Like maybe we just not y'all. A lot of y'all ain't really actually see Paulie fight, but he was okay. I wouldn't take him as a Devin Haney. And that's not me saying Devin Haney's like an amazing fighter or like the best of the gym. But I think if you could put him stack at the time, you know, in a few years or even right now, if they were the same age at a certain point in time, Haney's better than him. So I don't know, that comparison doesn't that's just I don't know.
Yeah, I think he better. I was
finna say word around the gym is that Haney gave Mayweather some work in sparring. If that give any credence.
Yeah, I heard that too. But yeah, I think Haney is the better fighter. I think he hit harder. But I forgot what the fuck I was about to say. My mind just went blank and shit. I had a little point that I was gonna make. But yeah, man, I just don't see it, man. Like when it comes to Paulie Malignaggi and his power, bro. Like I ain't never seen him in a fight where I was like, man, that motherfucker hitting hard. And what I was gonna say is you can keep a motherfucker honest without even throwing punches. If you go out there and you fainting and shit and you done got something established, like let's say you go out there and get your jab established and then you start fainting, you gonna start getting some respect. The motherfucker gonna think twice. You gonna get him out of position. You might be able to catch him with something, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't just all about power when you think about keeping somebody honest. It's really like the whole repertoire, you know what I'm saying? The power, speed, and once you get that shit established, now we starting to faint the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I think that play a part in it. Let me scroll down. Love Grooves Japan said with Russia and Ukraine possibly going to war, how do you think that would affect Lomachenko and the chances of him pulling out and Kambosos having no choice but to fight Devin? That motherfucker just came with some shit that's way out of my...
Yeah, this what? Global politics. What was World War III got to do with these? Lomachenko don't even probably live in... Ain't he from Kazakhstan? I don't know, maybe he is from the Ukraine. Like, don't he stay over here?
Nah, because he's from the Ukraine. But
yeah, so don't he stay over here? What they got? I mean, unless he get drafted or something. I mean, what?
He over here on visa. He probably has
don't let that shit happen, and they really be saying he the new Ali then.
Nah, he'll be on the first plane up out of there, man. Don't get twisted, man. This dude not gonna be. You ain't gotta worry about Lomachenko doing anything. The angles, the shooting. Nope. He's gonna be in Australia. He ain't gonna have no rifle. He ain't gonna be involved in none of that.
Square business. Well stated. La D said Trez Haney had some power. I think he got a little power, man. I give him like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I think that Paulie Malignaggi is a 1 or a 2 at the most. I give him a 2 because he do got a couple of knockouts. And when I say a couple, I mean a single digit. How many knockouts that motherfucker got in his whole career? About 5? 5 knockouts in his whole career or some shit? Like, man, come on. You know what I'm saying? Moody Trayweller, what's up with it, bro? What's going down with you? Eric Gar said, y'all killing me. Oh, he said, y'all killing me? What that motherfucker saying? Y'all killing me? Y'all motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get done with y'all. Just calm down, bro.
Who is Kangaroo Jack? We don't know you, Kangaroo Jack.
Oh, is somebody trying to get on the panel? That must be somebody from Australia or something. We talking about Cambosis.
Yeah,
Kangaroo Jack.
first of all, the name itself leads me to be suspicious of you. Kangaroo Jack. That's that goofy movie with the whatever, man.
Yeah, we ain't letting no randoms on the panel, man. If you were a subscriber and you been here rocking with us, that's what the link is for, man. Any random, we ain't letting them on the panel.
Now, Gil Coles, bring your ass on. Yes, sir.
Square business. James Dunn said Haney's still young and he coachable and clean. Honestly, all he need is a little pop with that precision. That's that. I agree with you on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think he got a chance to go out there and outpoint some guys. Eric Carr said, I come here for the education. I like being able to provoke thought or go deeper. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's what we come to do. Shit, if y'all just sit down there and be quiet, it won't be worth a fuck. You know what I'm saying? The way our live streams are set up is that we have interaction with the chat and everybody come with their opinions and shit. So, you know, that's welcome. Lala D said Kangaroo Jack is definitely in Aussie. That's what I was thinking, man. He want to come here and talk a little shit about Cambosis or something. I think he gonna get his ass whooped if he fuck around with Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest, but it is what it is, man. I guess he got a little chance, 85-15 amateur record, but damn, it's just so fucking lopsided going against Lomachenko, man. 396-1, southpaw, all them fucking angles and shit. Got a little experience now too. It ain't like Lomachenko used to be. He only had a few fights. This motherfucker got how many fights Lomachenko got now? About 20? He got a few fights now. Hyphy say if Haney moved up to 140 today, would he be a top 5 junior welterweight? What we got going on at junior welterweight? We got Josh Taylor.
Yep.
We got Jose Ramirez. We got Regis Prograis. And to me, that's the top of the top. We got Jose Pedraza just got up in there. He decent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got Gary Antoine Russell. He young. I think him and Gary Antoine Russell probably beat him, to be real. You know what I'm saying?
Kangaroo Jack said, I just want to get your opinion, get y'all's opinion on the white finally signing the contract with Fury. I guess they got a 2-fight deal contract or something.
You ain't got to get on the panel for that though. Ask that shit in the chat.
Yeah.
Ask
he
that
said he's
shit
not
in
a
the
Cambosis
chat,
fan either.
All right, that's cool, man. Ask that shit in the chat.
Yeah, we just don't recognize you, fam. People been getting up in here doing some weird shit, trying to get sabotage what we got going on, man. So we ain't doing that no more. Just letting randoms on.
Yeah, 100. But I think Haney would be a top 5 junior welterweight. I think he right there in the class with them guys. We got Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez, Regis Prograis, and we got the youngster, Gary Antoine Russell. And I think that Haney is in the mix with them guys. What y'all think, man? If Haney move up to 140, will he be a top 5 junior welterweight?
Well, here's the thing I got to say about that. The 4 people, like top 5, I guess if you're in the number 5 spot, that still makes you top 5. But I don't think he moves out of that slot. I don't think none of them dudes, he can't beat none of them. So, I mean, I don't know what that says because it's not about me trying to pick on him or so, but him, usually when you move up in weight, you don't gain power. So if he already has a power deficit, they're tough. Ramirez, I think, that'd be a nightmare. I don't know. Yeah, he'd be top 5, but I don't think he'd beat none of the 4 that's ranked above him.
See, I actually like him over Ramirez. I think he got a style to beat him. You know, Ramirez come to him, they give Haney a chance to box. You know what I'm saying? And Regis Prograis, I think he'll be Prograis too. I mean, Prograis 87-7 amateur, that's cool coming out of Louisiana, but Devin Haney 130-8 coming out of California and shit. He's super classy. Been around professional fighters his whole life in the Mayweather gym. I just think his pedigree a little bit deeper than Prograis. And plus looking at his pops, looking at his genetics and shit, you know what I'm saying? It seems like he got some pretty strong genes. So
is he gonna be able to keep them dudes off him? That's the thing about, like, he got some, like, I can understand people could say he got hurt 1 second by Linares, but I don't think Linares at any point in time was worried about getting knocked out by him. So you talking about Regis or Ramirez, they're definitely not gonna be worried about that. So do they go for broke and maybe be losing by points and mess around, win the fight by some kind of stoppage or something like that? I mean, that's what I got to think about in those fights.
See, but this is the thing though for me. Once you get to that top level, the knockouts stop anyway. Josh Taylor, he ain't knock out no pro grade. Pro grade ain't knocking out no top level motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like once you get to that level, we talking decisions. Even Earl Spence. Earl Spence ain't knocking out no Sean Porter. He ain't not, it's a few guys he ain't knock out like once he got to that top level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really thinking that he can go out there and outbox the guy. I understand what you're saying, like he don't have the power. They can just go for broke and just crash the pocket on the motherfucker. But he do got some check hooks and shit that he can put on you to keep you from running in on him. You know what I'm saying? And plus he showed me the legs. When he fought against Mason Menard, he went around that ring so many times. It looked like Mike Tyson punch out when you fight the Sheik dude. And the Sheik can go around the ring and shit over and over and over again. Y'all know what I'm talking about? No Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that
Tiger, whatever his name is.
Yeah, so that reminded me of Devin Haney when he fought against Mason Menard. So just knowing how good his legs are. Plus he's so young. You know what I'm saying? How old is he? About 23 or something like that. I think that'll give him a chance to go out there and outbox him. But I do understand your concerns though.
Moody Trayweather, big boy boxing. Salute, fam. What's happening?
Salute. Okay, I'm gonna jump back up in the chat a little bit. Where I'm at? I think the last one we read. Who was the last one we read? Love Grew Japan. I done lost the goddamn spot. Okay, we're up, man. Somewhere. James Dunn said, "No, he say stadium shut down and traveling in the area will be shut down. Lomachenko in Ukraine." I think we addressed that a little bit. Big Boy Boxer said, "What's going on, team? Hope everybody is safe and well. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate you pulling up." Kangaroo Jack said, "I'm not a goddamn Cambosis fan. Don't put me in that jacket." Winston Lee said, "Sound like bullshit. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro." Kangaroo Jack. Hey, Winston Lee, what was your place on the Channel Ross this weekend, too, man? This past weekend. I thought I saw you in the top 10. Kangaroo Jack said, "What's the thoughts and feelings of White finally signing the contract?" I mean, shit, the fight is on. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when you say finally signing the contract, it seems like you want me to read into that. I don't really have much to read into it, man. I know that the motherfuckers want to fight. They got to get together and negotiate and all that kind of shit. And the contract has been signed, and we got a fight that's taking place April the 23rd. That's what I think about it, shit. And I think that Tyson Fury gonna go out there and beat the motherfucker.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna get his ass whipped anyway.
Yeah, that's gonna be a massacre.
He settled for whatever they were supposed to be giving him, and the fight is on. It ain't like he just wanted to get a payday.
But we give him a puncher's chance though, because he do got a pretty good left hook. You know, we done seen him land the left hook. Yeah, so if he hit him with that left hook, it'd be a problem.
Or to the body too.
Yeah. He got a pretty decent jab and shit too that he done developed over time. You know what I'm saying? Moody Trey would have said he laughed and talking about Fury going to beat White worse than Wilder, and the fight is not going to sell either. Lala D said, "I removed my comment about Australia. They are off the chain, though." L Does said it is looking like Blair Cobbs versus Alexis Roca on Virgil Ortiz versus Michael McKinson undercard March 19th. I don't even know who the fuck Alexis Roca is. I have seen Blair the Flair a little bit, though. I wasn't just super impressed by the motherfucker, but it looked like he could be in some pretty decent fights, though. Big Boy Boxing said, I say he will make top 10, not top 5 at 140. So who would you put in front of him at 140? Moody Trayweather said, "I think Devin will have a little more power. He hasn't tapped into the grown man strength yet." A lot of people be talking about the grown man strength. I personally, I'm not really like a believer in grown man strength. That's just me, you know what I'm saying? Because I just know if you can punch, you can punch.
I mean, is everybody? My bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Is everybody kind of overlooking the fact that man hurt his shoulder? Because before that happened, he seemed to be knocking a lot of cats out. But then once that happened, he went back to, I don't know. It seemed like he was delving into his power bag. He was working out or something. He was gaining a little power, but then after he hurt his shoulder, then he just went back to boxing again. So, I mean, that's what I noticed. I don't know if anybody else noticed that.
Well, I know you the shoulder advocate, man. Every time motherfucker have a poor performance, you come back and remind us that the shoulder wasn't right. like
Shit, when I
Lomachenko.
did that.
No, because I got on Lomachenko for having a tough fight against Luke Campbell. And you say, well, Tregs, the motherfucker was coming off a shoulder injury. Yeah, your boy X
Was
got a
he?
good memory, don't he, man?
I don't know.
That,
I mean, I
that's
remember
what
he
you
was.
told me.
I remember he hurt his shoulder in the Linares fight. But yeah.
Well, one of them fights, my bad. One of them fights, you were telling me that I judged him too harshly because he was coming off a shoulder injury.
But
My
yeah,
bad.
man.
Man, hey,
Man,
Andre
he
Ward had a
got
shoulder
caught.
injury for years, and he never said nothing about it. That shoulder shit is just these dudes get bumps, bruises, and things sore during the fight. I mean, damn, it's just we got to know about all of it now. There's probably so many. If we probably went back in the day, Hagler days and stuff, like you find out dudes have broke hands and all kind of stuff going into fights, and we just never knew about it.
Y'all just remind me of the Pacquiao excuse. My shoulder.
Yeah. Swimming in the salt water, and he was killed.
Well, I just pay attention to cats, man, if they stopping people and then all of a sudden, they go to fighting different and shit. I mean, I believe that, their injuries have something to do with that.
Oh, yeah, man. That's like I brought up Holman Williams earlier, man. They said he was a knockout artist until he started having hand problems and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, sometimes it be them external factors that go into that. And plus activity and a lot of shit.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the case with Devin or not.
Well, I know Wilder had a bunch of injuries and was still knocking fools out, so I don't know.
That's why I say punches are boring, bro. Like, I don't think it was probably never a time in Wilder's life that he couldn't punch. Like, I'm a puncher, you know what I'm saying? And even before I even knew how to throw a punch, I'm punching hard. I be in the gym hitting that bag. That shit be ugly as a motherfucker, but that bag swinging all over the goddamn place.
Hey, Trax, you know what they used to call it? Being heavy-handed. You feel me?
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing, though. Wilder hurt his hand. He didn't hurt his shoulder.
No, he had shoulder, bicep, all that stuff been tore up before. So, I mean, yeah, the bicep, everything in there, torn pectoral muscle. I mean, so, yeah. I mean, it is
Mayweather,
what it is.
Mayweather, too, he fucked up his hands. And he still stopped. What's his name? There's only one
Ricky Hattie, yeah.
But the only thing I can say about Wilder, that's all he got. So I mean, shit, he can't rely on boxing. So
that was like a low shot, unnecessary, but it's cool.
I mean, that's real shit.
I mean, that's completely off thing. We were talking about injuries related to power being reduced, and I'm saying like, yo, that don't mean nothing. And that's all he got. Okay.
But he say he don't have to learn how to box though. I mean, shit.
Man, I don't even want to get into Wilder, man.
Broke.
Hey, man, don't even bring up Wilder. I have to leave him buried for a while, man.
We already
till we get a win.
Little hyphy junior.
It's just the gym. And then King say, man, don't you go down there and talk about no goddamn Wilder now.
Watch out, man. God damn it. Try to give you some. Oh, hey, man, I'm sorry, man. I have forgot about this because we were talking about earlier. Because I'm thinking of these young fighters and somebody we were just talking about this now. Man, Conor Ben, you need to go sit your ass down, man. First, you want to call out Adrian Broner. Now you want to call out Kell Brook. Man, that dude ain't shit. Like that, he pissing me off, man. Like he not trying to take no kind of real opportunities. This dude calling out people that basically is not. I don't even know if Kell Brook's a gatekeeper, man. I don't know what he is right now. But he calling them out.
We know that.
He trying to get some names on the resume, man. But that's how they do. That's how they do in the UK, though.
Yeah, I know.
Salute, fam. You say salutation. Salute, bro. What's happening?
Salute. Eric Garcia said, I got to see what y'all see. I'm not seeing Devin progress like his peers. I like Devin, but I think he need a better corner, and his pops only need to be involved with the promotional side. Well, we done spoke on that a few times. We feel like he should, he should have a better coach. You know what I'm saying? But he showed me some shit, man. Like when he fought that guy on the undercard for Jake Paul fight, it might have been Logan Paul against KSI, and he fought this guy that was like 140 and 10 or some shit like that. I can't remember what his name is though. But he showed me something, man. Like he rolled the right hand, came back with the right hand. I mean, he came back with the 6 and he brought back the 3 and got a knockdown in that fight. That's some high level shit in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't even see the other younger fighters doing that shit. That shit look like some Mayweather shit on the cool. So yeah, he just done showed me something, man. And plus, like his last fight, it's hard to judge when you're going against a southpaw. That's why I was saying if he fought against Javier Fortuna, I thought it was a chance that his stock might drop a little bit because it's hard to look good against southpaws all the time. He just went against an experienced southpaw in JoJo Diaz. He got hurt against Linares, but Linares is a veteran, man. And some people, a few years ago, I say maybe 5 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, but like Dwyer was saying that he felt like Linares was one of the most gifted fighters in boxing as far as his hand speed and shit go. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't no slouch. He ain't no scrub. So he been fighting some solid guys. You know what I'm saying? And I think he deserved a little benefit of the doubt.
Hey, you speaking the truth on that, Trex. Linares, I remember, man, before even before and after the Antonio DeMarco fight, you know what I'm saying? That guy was like a blue chip, you know what I'm saying, guy that he was kind of looked at as being one of the guys that could carry the sport, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he even after having that bad outing against DeMarco, because I mean the guy he just looked like the type of guy that could do it all. He had the size, the speed, you know what I'm saying, the boxing IQ, he threw all the right punches. The only thing was, you know what I'm saying, would his features hold up against the very best fighters, and that was like his undoing a lot of times. He just, you know what I'm saying, he kind of would throw one punch too many sometimes and get called, or either sometimes his features just wouldn't hold up. But the dude really was touted as a, you know what I'm saying, like to be one of the best guys in the sport, like pound for pound type guys at one point.
Yeah.
Well, everybody acts like everybody beneath an elite fighter is somehow trash. Like, I mean, a B+ fighter is an excellent fighter, not like he's garbage. So if you beat them, I mean, it's not something you get. That's not a walkover. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, him having a few losses and certain things, shortcomings, doesn't make him like a terrible. It's not either you're great or terrible.
Yeah, he pretty solid guy, like B+ type guy, you know what I'm saying? But I do think he got a good point as far as the coaching go. Because, you know, sometimes, man, if you a 90 fighter and you fighting somebody that's an 89 or a 91 or some shit, it's real close. And it might be your coach that get you over the top. You know, he come with some instructions down the stretch. He keep you composed in the fight. The motherfucker light a fire under you when you need a fire lit. He's showing you the chessboard because you too close to see the checkmate, but your coach can see it. So that's a big thing, like in the fight adjustments and shit. And I don't really trust Bill Haney with all of that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, he ain't no George Bitton or some goddamn body. But you know, I think as far as his talent, though, I think it's there. And if he got with like a real good trainer, I think he'll be dangerous. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion, though, man.
No, you right. I feel the same way. I've said that
No love
before
for
too.
Mickey Bay.
Mickey, I'm going with Mickey.
Yeah, I'm good on that, fam.
Hey Trey, that's why I was saying I think you know, and I don't care about Ryan Garcia, but I that's why I think that not Dan Goosen, Joe Goosen will be it's gonna be a good trainer for him if he'll listen to him. Because Joe Goosen ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, he ain't gonna sit there and just watch the guy make mistake after mistake and just, cheer him on from the corner when he come back. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give him clear, concise instructions on what to go out there and do. He gonna tell him what he's seeing. He gonna tell him what's there that he's not taking advantage of and give him instructions on how to get there. Then it's gonna be up to him to go out there and get it done. And I think that's what a fighter like Ryan Garcia needs. But, you know what I'm saying, whether or not it's going to come together for him is a whole other thing in and of itself, because I still don't have confidence in the guy to actually show up on fight night, because that's, and ever since the Campbell fight, the guy just hadn't been able to get to the ring. So until I see that, it's hard for me to say he could do anything.
Well, you can't train hard.
And Joe Goosen ain't quick to throw in no goddamn towel. So he definitely gonna test
Right,
you in that ring if shit get rocky. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Hey, that's what you just said though. That's like that's an attribute in a trainer that's important that I forgot to mention. Giving clear and concise instructions in the corner. Like when Danny Jacobs, when he fought against Gabe Rosado, that was his first time working with that coach, if I'm not mistaken. And he did not give clear and concise instructions in that fight. He would tell Danny Jacobs that I want you to come back with your right hand. And Danny Jacobs got to ask him, what you want? Do you want it straight or do you want it looping? As a fighter, nigga, you trying to recover and shit, man. Let me, get a little sip of water or something. I shouldn't be having to ask you to clarify what you mean. You know what I'm saying? You should be clear and concise off the top. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a major thing for a coach to have as far as the attribute and shit go. And like I said, Devin Haney, If he get in there with somebody, even like a Coach Cunningham, you know what I'm saying? I think he'll have action, man. I think he'll be dangerous out there. Eric Carr said, I agree, Trey X. Moody Trayweller said that shit gonna sell in the UK. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You talking about Tyson Fury. Eric Carr said, I agree, Trey X. Earl Thurman, Danny Garcia, KOs all stopped. And when the competition went up, except Bud, he's still stopping his opponents, but his competition hasn't moved up. I know he did get the stoppage over Sean Porter, and if y'all notice, ever since he won that fight, I ain't had nothing to say. I ain't been talking shit or nothing. I just been, you know what I'm saying, just supporting the Spence and Crawford fight. Hopefully we get to see it, but I still got to keep it in perspective, though. I mean, it was the man last fight and shit. He had one fight in retire. I mean, he had one foot in retirement, the other one on a banana peel. You know what I'm saying? So I do kind of factor that in. So I can't just say like he beat the Sean Porter that Kell Brook beat. I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, his knockouts have not stopped. But I still don't think he's been on a murderer's roll as far as competition. I think overall the competition been pretty weak except for Sean Porter.
We gotta look at the fact that he stepped up in weight too, though. He stopped everybody he fought at 147.
Here we go with the weight, man.
The weight, baby. He stepped up in weight. He
A
took
dude
his
walking
power
around
with
at
him.
180 pounds, bro. I don't want to hear that. This dude, man, come on, man. Like, here we go with the weight.
Put a valid point that we was talking about Haney Power. He was saying Linares got stopped in all his losses except for Haney.
That's a point.
That's the one thing I looked at too.
Maybe had Haney not got hurt the way he did, the fight, you know, maybe he'd have been in a position to get a stoppage too. But when you get hurt the way he got hurt, sometimes you start to think about surviving. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe Linares bailed himself out with his power, you know what I'm saying, to keep himself from getting stopped potentially later on down the stretch.
All I gotta say is I stopped Abdulayev in 4, and he beat Linares' ass.
I also think like a part of this shit is just a reflection of the times that we live in, because the fighters fight so inactive that every single fight that they have, we scrutinizing the shit out that shit. You know what I'm saying? If motherfucker only fight like twice a year, nigga, I'm talking about our eyes are open looking at that shit. What's going on? If it was some years ago when motherfuckers fight 8-9 times a year, that'd be like one fight of many. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand the point that you're making, though. You know, Linares typically gets knocked out. He didn't get knocked out by Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but if you look at it like that, though, we could say that somebody could be like, well, Devin Haney's chin must be better than Lomachenko's because Linares dropped it, Lomachenko, but he didn't drop. I mean, there's so many things you can look at if you wanted to knick-knack it. Like, that's what.
Come on. That's
what I'm saying. If you want
hitting, we ain't talking about getting hit. We talking about hitting.
No, I'm just saying, like, if you compare like outcomes and stuff going on, we could say that Linares, if we're talking about his power, because you know a lot of people were questioning Haney after he got hit or whatever, and so I'm just saying, like, some fights are different. Maybe when he got hit, he decided to back off. I don't know. I don't think Linares looked like he was in any trouble at any point in time, but I don't know if Haney's the type of dude that fights to go get the KO anyway. So.
Yeah, but did you see him hurt Linares in any point in that fight?
No.
Linares looked like he was hurt at all. But we saw Devin Haney get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I'm just talking about the point of him, his power. That's not nothing else to do with his chin. I ain't questioning his chin or anything like that. Which is I did that to fight the time he got hurt. I'm just saying his power. The last time he stopped a motherfucker was the Hispanic boy, and he came from Mississippi with that punch. You know what I'm saying?
Who all knocked? Hey, who all knocked out Linares?
Lomachenko.
Kano.
That wasn't a knockout though. That was a body shot from Lomachenko. So let me take that off the table because that was just a fucking liver shot. You know what I'm saying?
Kano knocked him out at 140.
Okay, what kind of power we got? Is he a puncher?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So has what I'm trying to ask is, has Linares been getting knocked out by punchers?
I don't think Antonio DeMarco was a puncher. I can't remember that. It seemed like DeMarco just cut him up real bad, if I remember correctly. Seemed like
he got stopped on cuts.
Seemed like that's how that fight went. I might be wrong, but it seems that's the way I remember it.
That sounds familiar though.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds familiar. So I take that into account. Like we looking at knockouts, but what happened? That's just like
Sergio
that's just like
Thompson.
that's
Yeah,
just like the
I
fucking.
actually made a
Hold on,
video
let me say
talking
this real
about that.
quick. That's just like the damn Chris Eubank Jr. fight when he fought Liam Williams, whatever the fuck his name is. The man got a knockout on his record. So when he fought against that Smith cat. So I'm thinking, well, shit, Eubanks might knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy had been knocked out before. But when I went and looked close, the motherfucker got stopped on cuts. You know what I'm saying? So that made me change my pick. I took Eubanks by decision instead of taking him by knockout. So like when you look closely and shit, it be like that sometimes. It don't always just be concussive shit. It might a motherfucker got stopped on cuts. He might have got stopped by a body shot or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. Real good point.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I had actually made a video talking about that at one point about how Linares has a reputation for being chinny, but if you actually watch the stoppages and watch him fight some of the people he fought, the guy really ain't got a bad chin. He just, you know what I'm saying, he just done been stopped a few times, you know what I'm saying, in some fights and all of his stoppages were kind of different ways. He done been stopped just about every way you can be stopped, but very few of them were somebody just you know what I'm saying, disconnecting from his senses. Maybe one or two of them.
Yeah, they just like Julian Jackson, man. He got knocked out in every fight he lost, but when you look at who he was fighting, you be like, well, he was fighting some fighting motherfuckers now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike McCallum and all them dudes. Big Boy said Australia isn't shut down, man. I don't know where people getting that bullshit from. James Dunn said, I think they'll have a good game plan for Haney against any of those opponents, and he'll have always little more weight. He said, I think they have a good game plan. So you confident that he'll come in with a good game plan, huh? See, that's the one thing about him that I'm just not super confident in, because that goes back to the coaching. I don't know if his dad gonna put together an impressive genius level game plan. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. L Dub said April 2022 will be like November 2021. A lot of big names and fights that month. Yeah, we're gonna be here calling frogs out of wells in this whole too. Winston Lee said I was ninth place this week. So we had Eric Carr. He was at number 2, holding it down like a bloodhound. Marlo tied for 3rd, putting feet in their ass. We got Winston Lee. He was at number 9 on the boys. It was somebody else that was in the mix. Derek Bailey. He was number 12. Shit, hey, y'all were holding it down. Hopefully I join y'all boys this week. Eric Carr said, right. That's where Floyd is, right? When he said he needs a guy in his corner who been there. That applies to Bill Haney in his opinion. That's square business. Lala D said one time, okay, talking to one time, scroll down. Lala D, yeah, that motherfucker a shoulder advocate, man. You cannot get past this man when it comes to a shoulder injury. He's an expert. Matter of fact, what part of the shoulder was injured, bro? Was it the labrum? Was it the rotator cuff?
Nigga go.
Shoulder scientist.
Yeah. Lala D say salute to Gary for slightly warning us about his shoulder. He saves a lot of people from betting that money. Yeah, that's absolutely true. James said off subject. Crawford knocking a lot of folks out. He knocking motherfuckers out, man. I ain't just super impressed with the names, but when it comes to Sean Porter, I give him some props on that, man. I used to come in here and talk a little shit about Crawford being ranked number 1 pound for pound and all that shit. But if you got the man ranked pound for pound after what he did to Porter, I'm cool, man. I ain't got nothing to say. I've been chilling. Let me scroll down.
I mean, if we gonna ride for Andrade, though, I mean, goddamn, he going the distance with the Luke Killers of the world. That's my boy and everything, but damn.
But the thing is, nobody called him number 1 pound for pound. If they call him number 1 pound for pound, I'll say the same thing. I just don't think he got the resume, like the strength of schedule. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was for me. If nobody said Crawford was pound for pound number 1, I never would have said anything. But if you gonna put that jacket on him, I'm gonna look at him in that lens, and I'm gonna start making them comparisons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, he went out there and stopped them niggas like a number 1 pound for pound supposed to do.
Hey, we give them credit on that. It's just like Golden State when they first got Kevin Durant. They go out there and cover the point spread every goddamn game. You go out there and you play a bad team, you go out there and blow their ass out by 40. They don't even play with him. And he do go out there and, get the knockout and shit. So we'll give him props. But at the same time, we're gonna keep in context what this strength of schedule is. Amir Khan, Kell Brook, shit like that. Benavidez. Matter of fact, Benavidez just got his ass whooped his last fight by a scrub. You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep it in context.
We gotta ask
Hey,
who
look
else
at-
made Amir Khan quit though.
Hey, Mean
Oh my
Machine.
God! Here you go. You that silver lining, man.
Hey.
Like, get out of here with that. Like, what?
I
Hey,
gotta ride for my
but you know
nigga,
what I'm
man.
saying?
hey, so sometimes, but that's an old Amir Khan.
Yeah,
Beat
that-
up Amir Khan, man. It ain't the same Amir Khan.
he didn't quit against Brook though.
I was after Canelo
Nah,
had
the
left.
referee made him quit.
Yeah, you right.
Referee made his ass quit.
And then look at Ndongo, man. Poe Ndongo, ever since he fought Crawford, it's just been bad news, man. That man lost by decision in his last fight, and I was impressed. Because he normally get knocked out in 2 rounds. I'm
Hey,
talking about
Gamboa.
Ndongo,
Hey,
man.
Crawford wrong for that, man. And
Hey,
Dongo was a good fighter, man.
Jeff Horn. Gamboa, Mean Machine, Jeff Horn.
Horn retired, man. He got a dingo ranch in Australia now. I ain't seen him sit.
Dingo. Yeah.
Hey, he
I
was
was
a tough fight against that boy, though.
Hey, I was telling D-Lo, I said, this motherfucker, Bud, blaming on everybody but himself. He done blamed Spence. He started off blaming Spence and PBC. Then after that, he blamed Bob. Now he blaming the media and the fans and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Black people.
He blaming everybody but his goddamn self when he the one who gave these motherfuckers the talking points, all the Bud fans talking points, talking about he deserves 60-40 over Bud, over Spence and all this old weird ass shit. Like, I don't even talk about their money, man. But that's what they be talking about. He been undisputed with that whack ass resume. But Taylor, then at the same time, down talk Taylor undisputed status. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody disrespecting Bud, motherfucker. It ain't got nothing to do with me picking Spence over Bud.
You just called the man resume. You just called the man resume an undisputed whack. That is disrespecting.
No, I'm saying
You disrespect the resume.
Strength of schedule wasn't that
what
hard.
context did I say it in though, D-Lo? I said it based on how motherfuckers be talking. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into it. You want to have this conversation with me anyway. So let's get into it. What since we talking about the undisputed resume, because everybody keep wanting to go back to that. What more should the man have done at 140? He beat the champions that were there. What else was he supposed to do?
I ain't saying what he's supposed to do. I'm just saying the competition that he had down there.
Let's look at the competition. You know, one of those guys that he beat to become undisputed, he was the first one to beat him, and that's one of the same people Josh Taylor beat on his way to becoming who he is.
And we gave him props on that. We gave him props on post-style. We always gave him props.
So y'all gonna double team me. That's what we doing.
Yeah, that's what we gonna do.
Yeah, wait, Coastal, was he undefeated in that fight?
Yeah, you on the block, you on the corner, nigga. This is Marlo and Trey Edge, baby.
Let's get it. Let me grab my mouthpiece. Let's get it.
He was the champion.
I ain't got no mouthpiece. Hey, let me grab a wet sock. Let's get it.
D-Lo, you talking about that one new interview, D-Lo, when this man for years been blaming everybody.
No, we talking the undisputed thing right now.
All right, go ahead. So we gave him props for Ndongo. Go ahead.
All right.
What about Gamboa?
Oh, hold on. So you gave him props for Ndongo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but look where he at right now. What have he done since?
Hey, I don't care what happened to somebody when I'm done with him.
Okay.
No, not Ndongo. We gave props for Postal. I don't give props for Ndongo. That's just
I
me.
mean, hey, Ndongo was a 2-belt champion who had won both his belts in his opponent's backyard. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But he went and beat them weak ass Ricky Burns motherfuckers. That's not impressive to me.
I mean, that's who had the belt.
I understand that, bro. But D-Lo, it's a such thing as a weak division, bro. And if you go out there and dominate a weak division, I'm supposed to go head over heels for you, bro.
How can the division have been weak when Bud was there and the other guys were there at the same time? Why them guys wasn't champions?
I'm talking about he was surrounded by weak fighters, bro.
Josh Taylor was there. Ramirez was there.
Up and coming. These guys didn't even barely have 12, 13
They should have got their ass up and coming faster then. That man ain't always wait around on their ass.
Ain't no, and I don't hold on. And I don't owe it to him to give him a lot of praise for dominating the weak weight class. I'm gonna look at it in context what it is. He was surrounded by weak ass fighters.
Hey, also though, Trey, They talk all that shit about how he was calling out Spence, but the whole time I remember Regis Prograis calling him out, and what he do? He didn't accept that shit.
I mean, he
Regis,
left the division.
but Regis Prograis called him out, bro. He told Regis Prograis get the strap. He coming for him. You know what I'm saying? And Regis Prograis was put himself in contention to get the strap to be a contender. He ducked up out of there, right?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, he left though. No, let's not. I don't want you to think I'm calling him a
I mean,
duck.
I get it. I mean, the guy left and then, I mean, he didn't go back. He left and he moved up and he started trying to fight. You know, I ain't gonna say what he tried to do. He moved up and fought the guys he fought.
No, he
I
moved
get
up
what,
and fought him.
cause everybody can say they trying to do something. So I ain't even finna give them that. I ain't gonna go with that. They trying to do, cause I can talk about what I'm trying to do. I ain't doing it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I want your opinion. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put his strength of schedule?
We talking about the undisputed at 140, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about just however all the put together, whatever weight class, all the shit put together.
I mean,
how do you feel about this?
I mean, man, I'm one of them people that's I'm gonna give preference to a guy that done moved up in divisions. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a fan of that. Always impressed me. You know, I know it matters who you fight. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't seeing.
Give us some numbers, sir.
Running from things. So to me, when I look at a guy that done moved up in against, and I respect some of his opponent more than some other people. Like I respect the hell out of Gamboa, pick the man to beat Bud. So, you know what I'm saying? I'd have to say on a scale of 1 to 10, looking at everything, and I'm talking about the top. I ain't talking about the guy that I don't know. I'm talking about from the time I've been following his career. I get a man a strong 6.5 to a 7.
That's fair. But looking at that, Canelo is a 10 then.
No.
Because he moved up in weight.
Hell no.
Didn't he move up in weight and win a champion? You just said you give credit to moving up in weight. Now you don't want to give credit for moving up in weight. I give him credit.
I ain't giving him no 10. You know, a 10 is perfect. I ain't giving him no 10.
A 9.
I give Canelo a solid 8.5 to a 9.
He moved up twice.
Okay. Now 8.5 is a hell of a lot better than 6.5. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna give him no 10.
Well, I'm saying compared to Crawford.
No, you ain't compared to Canelo. I'm giving it a scale of 1 to 10. I'm not gonna give Canelo no 10.
But I just said that as a smart remark.
Oh, okay.
If you give him that much credit,
I think there's a gap between Canelo resume and Bud. Yeah, clearly.
A big ass gap.
Yeah.
And that's all I ever spoke on. It was nothing never personally against the man. I'm just looking at the opponents and then like look what we grew up on, bro. We grew up on Evander Holyfield, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got to echo.
Yeah, we grew up on Evander Holyfield and shit, bro. Like, look at his fucking resume, my nigga. People talking about Marvin Hagler and shit. So that's the kind of shit we came up on. And then I go look at Bud Crawford, and I'm supposed to be just super impressed with that shit because he fought in Dongo. And I gave him credit on Victor Postal. I gave him credit on the Southpaw Olympic gold medalist that he fought. What's his name?
Diaz.
Felix
Diaz.
Yeah, we give him props on that. I always have. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the other shit, bro, I can't get with that. I even give him props on Gamboa. I take that back. But them other people though, bro. Ricky Burns and all that shit, nah, bro.
Nah, I give him a lot of credit for Ricky Burns. Hey, he was the first. I think he was the first one to beat Ricky Burns. He beat him in his home country. Then after that, you talk about what Ndongo did after Bud. He didn't do nothing, right? But Ricky Burns, after Bud became a champion again. That's just like
Burns ain't worth a fuck.
That's just like JoJo Diaz after Gary Russell Jr. beat him.
I'll beat Ricky Burns' ass my motherfucking self. I ain't impressed with no goddamn Ricky Burns, nigga. I ain't looked at him now time and been like, oh yeah, man, that's a bad motherfucker right there. You know what
I mean? He had them damn announcers in denial over there in Ireland and shit.
Hey D-Lo, so look.
For the time, Ricky Burns was somebody for the time, man.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with the American. He's not that good. It's just Burns. He's not throwing his punches.
Yeah, I remember
that.
Yes, sir.
Hey, who resume more impressive for Undisputed, Bud or Josh Taylor?
And hold on. Before you answer, just the fact that it's a question that you actually got to put some thought into when you got one guy that got like 35 fights and the other one got what, 17, 18 fights, that's a statement in itself.
You want me to answer now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'm going to always go with Josh Taylor in this situation for one reason. Josh Taylor went through a tournament in which he couldn't control who he fought. So when I look at it in that context, I'm always favor the guy who went through a tournament where he couldn't say, I don't want to fight this guy, I don't want to fight that guy, I want this guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way I am with Usyk. So, you know what I'm saying? When I look at it in that context, and I know you got to look at the names, but I give him a lot of credit for going through that tournament where he couldn't pick the guys, and I give him a lot of credit for the Prograis fight, which to me was the most impressive. The Ramirez was a good name, but I didn't look at Ramirez, even though I picked Ramirez to win.
I was just about to say that too. Go ahead.
I picked Ramirez. No, listen. I'm gonna tell you but my only issue with Ramirez was that I knew, and it looked crazy now because Ramirez still at the division. But going into that fight, I was like, Ramirez busting that seat, he need to lead the division. And then after that weigh-in, I wanted to change my pick. But I had already made my video, and I was like, man, I'm not going to change my pick. But at the end of the day, that ain't Josh Taylor's problem. He went out there and took care of business, and he beat the man convincingly, almost got a stoppage. You know what I'm saying? So I give him props on that. I mean, I think, like I said, the names, the guys with the quote-unquote names or a little buzz behind them, you know what I'm saying? They were there at that time, and that tournament had a lot to do with it. That tournament made a lot of those guys. So that's why I feel like, I got to give Josh Taylor, you know what I'm saying, the better resume at 140 because of that situation right there.
Hey, Marlo, way to drop that draw 4 on his ass.
Hey, I just want to say, Trey, Lala D on your ass in the comments. Lord forgive me for starting shit, but
hey, hey, James Dog, look, and now you say 140. We can compare Earl's resume at 147 and Bud's resume at 147, and Earl win that argument, bro. Regardless to who the hell Earl fought his whole career at 147. Just his last what 5 fight, and he fought Brook.
That's all you can compare. Compare what Earl did since Bud got there. Because that's all that really matter because Bud went at 147 until he got there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Spence still win that argument.
Right. You're going to talk about all these rundown, recycled ass PBC fighters that, you know what I'm saying, been beating each other up. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I know you did not. Wait.
So we're going to talk about a one-legged Benavidez.
Hey, no. We already know. Hey, look. Ain't no point in even talking about Bud's opponent. Everything you're gonna say done already been said 100 times over on this channel and every other one, right?
So do you agree?
So since we want to dissect,
hold on, listen.
We want to dissect. Let's really break down. Let's really break down the great Earl Spence resume at 147 pounds since Bud Crawford got it. Let's talk about that.
But who said that Earl was number 1 pound for pound though?
He just said he wanted to compare the resumes. I didn't say that.
No, James Dunn says, man, ain't nobody really got some awesome resume at 140 though. Earl only really
D-Lo, you got a bad echo, bro.
The best buckets, honestly. That's what he said. And I was just saying we ain't even talking about that because we ain't gonna even go there with Earl. We were just talking about Crawford's road to undisputed, which that's his claim to being a favorite, man. In the negotiations and other people's conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like that's supposed to hold some weight over Spence's unification fight and his resume and whatever pay-per-view numbers, seats and asses type of shit that's going on. Whatever they talk about.
Hey, go back. What did you say? You said that's the claim to be the favorite.
We really supposed to be talking about the resume and the style. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to talk about the money because I don't even know everything they talk about behind the scenes and shit. But just from the outside looking in, I don't think he's the favorite over Spence in negotiation. That's just my opinion. But I can't tell no man what he should take or shouldn't take.
Oh, I thought you were talking about stylistically. I don't care about negotiations and all that. Who win negotiations or I don't know how anybody can be the favorite in negotiations anyway. But
that's what I said. This is what we should be talking about. Not the money part. We just talking about skill. That's what we brought the resume up for.
Hey, but hey, let me say something real quick. As far as D'Lo like making that slight at recycled PVC fighters.
Oh, it ain't no
You,
slight. I'll get into it if you want me
hey,
to,
I'll
but
put no.
I
Let me
don't
hold
ever
on,
talk
hold on. Let
about
me
it.
let me
I
finish.
don't
Let
ever
me
Let
really
finish.
him get
Hold
talk
on,
into
hold
about it.
it
on.
though. Go ahead.
I
Hey,
don't talk about it
Finish.
because
We gonna let D'Lo
hey,
finish.
dog. Wait. But let's be whole reason that a lot of us are even taking Bud serious is him defeating one of those recycled PVC fighters. So
Thank you.
No,
That was finna
we
kill
gotta
him.
that's
be
Bro,
not
That's
why
true.
some
you
of
honest.
say
y'all.
it
That's some of
first?
That's
y'all.
not true. That's
Why
not
did
true.
you say it first? You supposed to let him kill himself, man. I was just finna say that. That's his
He
whole
ain't got.
thing
Hey, he
about
ain't
them
got.
from
Hey, let me
It's
kill
a
myself.
recycled PVC fighter.
Let me kill myself. Let me go ahead and finish what I was about to say. Then, say that what you think finna happen. Let me tell you what I was gonna say. When I said what I said about these recycled PVC fighters, you know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about how y'all, I ain't gonna say y'all. People want to put this man resume on a pedestal like he done so much, but the guy is basically walking in Keith Thurman's footsteps. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that the guys that he beat that really established him as being the guy was already beat by Keith Thurman. You know what I'm
Except for
saying?
Kell
Kell
Brook.
Brook.
No, hold on, let me
Kell
finish.
Brook. Come on, bro.
Let me
I
finish.
got something for him. Let him finish.
Let me finish. All right. You want to throw Kell Brook out there. Okay. We know, and it ain't Errol's fault. It ain't Errol's fault. Don't get me wrong. I for one think like Trey X brought it up about what Eddie Hearn did with Kell Brook, sending him up there to fight Golovkin. I think that was Trey X. To me, I don't think they thought they could beat Errol Spence Jr. So they went up there to try to take that take the Triple G fight. It was a more acceptable loss. But the outcome of the fight was the outcome of the fight. The guy came out of that fight with a broken face, got 2 extensions because he couldn't fight. He tried to get a third. By the time he tried to get that third, the IBF told him, "No, you got to fight this guy or get stripped." It didn't matter that he wasn't ready or whatever the case was. He was either gonna get stripped or he had to take that fight. Kell Brook was forced into that fight against Errol Spence Jr. Went out there, gave a good account of himself until his face fell apart. Credit Errol Spence Jr. for doing what he's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the facts are the facts. You know what I'm saying? The man was coming down from 160, coming off a beat down from Golovkin, and that's like a feather in the cap of Errol Spence Jr. A great win, because Errol ain't had nothing to do with what Kell Brook went up there. He chose to go up there and do, but that's the fact. And then, but at the same time, when you got this same Kell Brook who was coming off a win streak but had to come down from 54 to go to 47, we can see everything in the world wrong with that. And we could take credit away from what another man did. But when Errol went out there and fought the man fresh off facial surgery, it's a great win.
Wow.
That's a double standard. I don't care who said that's a double standard.
There ain't no double standard
Preach,
when
Pastor.
a man is clearly washed up. He done grew out the weight class, went to 154 and shit. Like, how is that? I don't understand what you're saying. Like, that's a double.
None of
That's
that makes
the
sense.
same thing. That's
Hey,
not the
No,
same situation, bro.
the
Like, that
man
was
was
it.
coming down from what the man not coming down from 160.
That was
If I
he
made
came down,
if I made that up, I can understand you saying you don't know what I'm talking about. Did I
but you
make that
talking
up?
about like, but how many years later though? How old was Kell Brook when he
I
fought
don't care
against
about how old he
Crawford?
was. I'm talking about
I care.
what state was the man in when Errol Spence Jr. fought him? Was he not coming off of facial
You mean to
surgery?
tell me a fighter that's 35 is the
Was he
equivalent
not
of a
coming
fighter
off
that's
facial
31?
surgery? Was he not coming
hey,
off facial
hold up.
surgery?
All
Okay, look. Let me tell him. First of all, Keith Thurman didn't want no parts of Earl Spence, so he had to go through all those guys that you talking about. He had no other choice. He called out Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was run. It was run. He changed his name to Runtime, so that's the reason why he went and beat on all them other guys and went over there to the UK and beat on Brook and got a strap. You know what I'm saying? And made his own weight. He had no other weight. He didn't duck off and told people what he deserved. He didn't sit there in the background and didn't fight nobody. He went there and made a name for himself. That's why he went and fought those guys that Keith Thurman already beat. You know what I'm saying? That's why he did that. He didn't do it, you know what I'm saying, for no other reason. He had no other choice. You know what I'm saying? He had no other choice but to do it.
and then
Because
let me
Keith
ask this
Thurman
question.
didn't want to give him that work. And then look, hold up. Let me finish. And then
Hold on, let him finish.
look, wait, no, then two, he broke Brook's other eye. What the hell you talking about, nigga?
You do know that that's actually one bone, right? That's just connected to the other.
Yeah, it is easier to break the other one after you break one up.
Okay,
Oh
let me
my
let me ask, let
goodness.
me
So
You
ask you a
say
why,
the
so
other
question.
why,
one,
why,
but then you say
hold
the
up,
same
and
one.
using that logic,
No,
so
the
why,
other eye. I
why
mean, you know what I
Bud
mean.
didn't break his eye then, man?
He didn't. He didn't break it.
Why, yeah, why he didn't re-break the
So
motherfucker is what I'm
so
saying. Why he,
let's not act
hold
like
up,
that's
why
why
he,
he got
I'm
stopped.
asking a question then, because y'all using these logics about it's easy to break the motherfucker eye. The other one, after
How
one
many
was
years?
broken.
How many
So
years removed from that surgery was he when Bud fought
at least two.
him? Okay, that might be
He had
why he
to
didn't
be
break
clear.
it.
He had
Because
to
he
be
went
clear.
9 months. Because he went 9 months removed from surgery. That's why he didn't break it.
Okay, let me ask a question real quick. So just common sense, like just be honest with me. Just looking at the eye test, looking at Kell Brook at the weigh-in against Terrence Crawford, he looked like a dead man, and looking at him in the ring, do you feel like that was the same Kell Brook as the one that fought against Errol Spence?
I don't think any fighter the same from one fight to the other. I think for 4 rounds or 3 rounds, the motherfucker was in the fight and he looked like he looked like he knew he was in there to win and had a shot at winning the fight. And
Do
then
you
one
feel like
shot,
that? Do you feel like
one
he was?
shot
Do
changed the
you feel
whole
like he was just as good? Do you feel like he was just as good?
fight. No, I don't feel like
Okay,
no.
then.
I mean, he shouldn't have been just as good.
Okay, then. Well, that's part of the context. Then let's not erase that because you saying that don't matter, but it do
No,
matter to
I didn't
me.
say it didn't matter. My point is that both of them got. Hey, I'm not disagreeing with where Kell Brook was at that point. My point is that let's not act like Kell Brook came in it like. Let's not act like Errol Spence fought to Kell Brook and Sean Porter fought.
All
Let's
we
keep that
saying
in
is he. All
context.
we saying is he beat a better version of Kell Brook than Crawford beat.
Man,
That's my opinion.
he beat a guy coming off of surgery in his first
Did he
fight
beat?
back, coming down. How many pounds that is? 13
Let me
pounds.
let me ask you
And
directly.
he
Do
had
you, hold
outbeat
on?
the
Let me
division
ask you
then too.
directly. Let me ask you this direct question. Do you feel like Crawford beat a better version of Kell
No,
Brook than Spence?
no,
Bam. That's all I'm saying. All that other shit is irrelevant.
no, it
That's
ain't.
the
No, it
fact.
ain't. Because I'm talking about, I wasn't comparing, I wasn't saying this version versus that version. My whole point is, if we're going to talk about one guy got a version of the guy that wasn't the best, let's not act like the other guy didn't fight the dude coming off a damn facial surgery. I mean, that's
But
just being.
we never said that it
Nobody
was
said that.
a perfect
I
scenario. We
didn't
never
say
said
no.
it.
I didn't say anybody. I just said let's not act like it, man. I mean
Hey,
that's
wait. Hey, hold on, hold on.
But we not
Hey,
acting
D-Lo.
like it though.
that's
Let
a
me
big
say something real
win.
quick, man.
That's a big
And
win
I'll
for the
just
dude.
Hey, D-Lo, this is the thing about it, and this I think is maybe where we're taking it out of context. Like when you're saying Errol Spence, you're like, oh, you guys are putting him on pedestal. No, we're not saying that.
I
We
didn't say
strictly
y'all
saying,
guys.
wait,
I
hold on,
said
let me finish, let me
people
finish,
put
let me
them on
finish, let me finish, bro. You just said that like a second ago about you guys put his record on. We basically said at 147 is Errol Spence strength of schedule better than Crawford. You can have a B and somebody else have a B plus, and that's a better score. It's not much of a difference, but it's a better score. So if we take all the fights from the point that Crawford came to 147, and you compare the same fights that Earl had at that same time, regardless of you saying somebody being rewatched or any of that, whose schedule is better at 147, and you will be fooling yourself to say that Crawford had a better schedule, regardless of if this guy had something wrong or he had a tough fight. At the end of the day, when they were both at 147, Earl Spence strength of schedule was better than Crawford. And that's all we're saying.
You know why? Because what you just said, what y'all just said about Keith Thurman. I could say the same thing. Bud wanted to fight Errol Spence Jr., but he couldn't, so he had to go fight all these other guys
No,
because Errol Spence wasn't
No,
fighting.
Bud
I
said
ain't gonna
Bob
say that.
Arum was the
I ain't
reason
gonna
why
say
that
that though.
happened. So come on, man.
I just
That's
said I
fact.
could say that, but I ain't gonna
No,
say
but
that.
they be dishonest though. It be
Oh,
dishonest. Come on, man. Like you
hey
can't
man,
sit there and make up a narrative when the guy himself
hey,
says it's
look
Bob's
at
fault.
I ain't stopped smiling the whole time this whole topic done came up. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for the sake of getting a laugh, but at the same time, I'm semi-serious because I'm gonna tell you when I look at who these guys were at the time that Errol Spence Jr. fought them, I'm not gonna act like. First of all, Danny Garcia, like I said, I've said many times, the dude ain't done nothing at 140. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter fought Danny
47.
Garcia. Sean Porter fought Errol Spence Jr. in a fight where, to me, and I know what I say don't count, but I felt like Errol Spence Jr. should have been fighting Dennis Ugas. Sean Porter, you know what I'm saying, backpedaled his way into that fight. So, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about putting stuff into context, I look at all of that And then I look at Mikey as a guy that didn't belong at the division at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna sit there and just act like that. I think Mikey was a smart fight. I think that Mikey fight is what catapult. If you want to say Errol Spence Jr. is the A side against Bud Crawford for people who care about that, him making that Mikey fight when he did is the reason why. None of that other stuff. The Mikey fight was the right fight at the right time, and that's the fight that made. And I'm gonna be honest, the Mikey fight is why he got those other fights. If he didn't fight Mikey when he fought him, he'd have never got the Porter fight. He'd have never got the Danny Garcia fight because those chumps were scared to get in the ring with him. And the only reason they fought him was because he fought Mikey, did good on pay-per-view, and they saw that, okay, now we can go fight this dude. We can be on pay-per-view too. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that being the case, you know, I like me, you never hear me say Errol Spence is not the number one guy at welterweight. No matter how much I like Crawford, I put Errol Spence number one. And the reason I put him at number one is because of these guys that y'all hear me talking about. Even though no matter what I say about him, I have to think a lot of them guys and what Errol did with him. And that's the reason I got him at number one. All the rest of this stuff I'm doing, man, it's just tongue in cheek. You know what I'm saying? I'm having fun, trying to stay away.
This motherfucker's voice of reason is just trolling right now.
Trying to stay up. Y'all know I go to sleep on y'all in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Me all this time, I'm like, this nigga just said he had a smile on his face.
But seriously though, man,
social science thought he was real.
But seriously, the Mikey fight. I'm gonna tell you, man. As a fight, I didn't respect the Mikey fight, but I understood why Errol had to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make sense for him not to. In that fight, honestly, opened up the doors for him. Like everything that done happened since that Mikey fight wouldn't have happened had he not got that Mikey fight. So I respect that he took that fight, and I felt like from a business standpoint, that fight made all the sense in the world. But from a standpoint of bragging on what you've done with your resume, I thought that Mikey fight out the window. I mean, I'm being serious about that.
And then what you said about Porter,
I don't think a lot of Mikey Garcia. I don't think a lot of Mikey Garcia. But I never had. I always said Mikey as an opportunist.
What you said about Porter, that shit applies to Crawford too. Crawford fought Porter. That motherfucker could fight Ugas too. Shit, the motherfucker that beat him 27-10. He could fight that motherfucker.
I agree. I'd rather. I mean, man, but like I said in my video, I'm glad it all played out like it did because if Errol had a fought, you know what I'm saying, if Errol had a fought Ugas back when Ugas was a mandatory, or had he fought him when he fought Porter, everything would have been all jumbled up. I like it better the way it played out. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I like it better the way it played out. You know what I'm saying?
All in all, let's be real though. We would have had it undisputed by now if Bob wouldn't made that fight happen with Horn. You know what I'm saying?
And we might have had it by now if you know what I'm saying, if it weren't for that car accident too. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't subscribe to all that nonsense when people be wanting to say Errol ducking and all that. You know what I'm saying? He running from Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the man, regardless of what the circumstances were around it and all that people want to talk about, the man had a car accident that put his career on delay. Now he done had an eye injury, even though I know he went finna fight Crawford when it happened. But at the end of the day, all of that stuff done thwarted the man's career. And he got to get back on track. So, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that stuff done took away from how we haven't been able to get as close to that fight as we should. And I'm hoping that we're gonna get the fight next. You know what I'm saying? And I look at all of those things that I talk about Crawford and the things that I see about him. I don't care. I don't look at that as, oh, this is why he should be the A side. I look at it as why I got him in my favorite to win the fight. You know what I'm saying? And why I'm still chomping at the bit for them to make the fight so I can sit down and dissect and break down and tell people what I see and why I think he wins the fight. Now, I don't expect to convince nobody who feel the opposite any different, but I want to put what I see out there because if the fight play out that way, I want people to give me my credit. Now, if he go out there and go total opposite, I want y'all to laugh at me.
I'm getting my shillings together. We're going to make a bet on that fight. That fight happened. But look, I'm glad to say around the 205 mark, we got it on record that D-Lo just trolling and he know who the goddamn top dog is. You know what I'm saying?
He just said it too.
Hey, he number
I
one.
think
Hey,
it
he
was around
number one at
1
welterweight.
204, 205
He
mark, y'all.
hey, he number one
Hey,
at
somebody
welterweight.
stamped that.
He ain't,
D-Lo just admitted it. Who the top
he
dog? Who the
ain't,
big
hey,
dog is? Who the
he
big
ain't
fish?
beat Bud. I ain't trolling. I don't think the man gonna beat Bud. I ain't finna sit here and act like I'm gonna bet a ton of money on it. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put some money on it in Vegas or on Bovado or whatever. And I'm gonna you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put me some bets out there if they make the fight. But hell, at this point, seems like the bets ought to be on whether or not they gonna make the fight. That's what you ought to be betting on, whether the fight get made or
I'm here to say I stand behind all the trolling, and Terrence gonna beat the hell out of Arrow when they fight, man.
At least D-Lo better troll than my boy Bernie. Bernie over there. That nigga Bernie, boy, he ain't hear nothing. He don't want to hear nothing. Everything he saying snap. He don't want to come
Hey,
back.
Bernie different, man. Y'all gotta realize Bernie's part of that man team. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
I think he go way too far sometime on some of the stuff he say, but I understand that, you know what I'm saying, he gonna be locked step with the things that, you know what I'm saying, he think is in the best interest of the team, even though sometimes I don't think he always says things that's in the best interest of the team, but
He did.
that's just me on the outside looking in. It ain't really for me to say. But you know what I'm saying? But I understand, especially after I saw that little documentary or whatever when the build up the Porter and Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that the dude been with Bud since Bud was 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's almost a lifetime of being in somebody's corner, being a part of their team. I can't look at him like I look at a Bud fan or Errol Smith fan or Mikey Garcia fan or whoever fan. That dude is a part of that team in some capacity. So he gonna ride hard for Bud, and in his eyes, Bud gonna be right no matter what.
Man, I
Man,
That's what he
understand
So,
what
supposed to
Bernie
do.
be doing, man. Bernie just there to stir up controversy and keep his name buzzing and all that.
that's cool.
Bernie doing what Bud can't do,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
Bud shouldn't
I
do
ain't
and
mad
don't
at
want
him.
to do.
It's just you can't have a respectable conversation with him. You know what I'm saying? Because that nigga gets crazy, man. I seen that nigga go crazy on I think it was Cypher Supreme. I said, man, if you don't agree with that dude, it's gonna go left.
Well, I mean, it's the
Well,
same way you try to have a conversation with a lot of Spence fans. So he just counteracting that shit, man. That's all he doing.
Hey, the old fans ain't on Spence team. They just fans. You know what I'm saying? But they take
Right.
some of
Exactly.
them folks. Hey, and some of Bud fans the same. But don't get me wrong. But
Man, majority of Bud fans.
it
Hell,
blows my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
It blows my mind how
I'm
many of these
outside.
fans
majority of
act
bets,
like
man.
you would think they part of the team, man. Even like Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, man, Devin Haney got some extreme fans, man, for him not to be that big of a fighter. And I like Devin Haney. But it's like the way some of his fans be talking and stuff, man, about him and like let the dude do something first, man. Let him, you know what I'm saying?
Man, them new fans too.
I
Them new
understand he being ducked and all of that, but at the same time, it's like these same fans can see it with Devin Haney, but they can't see it with Andrade. You know what I'm saying? And Andrade been being ducked way longer than Devin Haney been a pro boxer. You know what
right.
I'm saying? So that's what
Nigga,
kind of get to me.
it be like that on your channel too, nigga. That's why when you drop certain videos, I just wait. I'll wait before I make my comments and shit because I know it's gonna be somebody that's gonna step to me with some dumb shit. And I'll be over here thinking, man, if you don't get your ass out my motherfucking face, but I just go ahead and chill because I'm on D-Lo shit. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't even say nothing. But hell yeah,
Hey,
nigga,
y'all, hey, I let y'all hash it out. Y'all grown. But I tell you what, you can have somebody come in my comment section. They can say something outlandish about Errol Spence Jr. I don't sit there and agree with them. I might say that's funny or whatever, but I don't think that's the case. Like, you know what I'm saying? God, man, I'm not gonna agree with somebody just for the sake of agreeing. I appreciate the support on the channel and all that, man. But if I don't believe something, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just ain't that type of person, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't, you know, like I said, I can have a favorite in the fight. But that's as far as I get, man. I don't have a favorite in the negotiations. I don't have a favorite in terms of who I feel like I should, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to put more out in support of this person and this and the other. If anything, all I'm trying to do is bring about balance. You know what I'm saying? But you know, because to me, like y'all see a lot of y'all might say y'all see a lot of the fanatics on the Bud side. I see some of that, but by and large, if I had to ask and I had to give to quantify it, I think for what I see, and this is just what I see, I would say I see 60% more fanatics for Spence than I do Bud. You know what I'm saying? 60%, 40%. So that's the 60-40 they arguing over. I guess Spence supposed to get the 60% because he got 60% of the fanatic, from what I see. But,
what
but,
does that got
hey,
what the
but
hell
Wow.
is you talking about?
That sound
Like,
like he reaching
hey,
for some numbers
oh,
hey, but
somewhere.
listen to it though. See,
Listen,
like some of the cats that I'm cool with, that
hey, look,
I go to their channel, they channel all the time, and they big Bud fans. Like I'll go to the comment section and you know what I'm saying, I'll be, supporting the video, and you know what I'm saying, I will be in the comment section countering some of their arguments. And I'll be like, no, man, Spence ain't blocked. I don't think Spence running, you know what I'm saying? And I might, get silenced. Not, I might have a risk, but I ain't saying I'll get timed out, but they'll stop reading my comments because I ain't agreeing with what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, to be honest, I see a lot of that on the you know what I'm saying, on both sides, man, where there's a lot of, it's like people are they are extreme one way or the other. And it's like they can't see it the other way no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like if Spence say something, they gonna flip it to where it was something negative. If Bud say something, they gonna flip it to where it was negative. If the other one say something negative, they gonna flip it to where it was, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of just go that way. And I guess it's just a part of it is that this fight done lingered on so long that, man, we don't have anything else to do. You know what I'm saying? And
hey,
it's like,
D-Lo, you gotta stop interacting with people like that. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, at the end of the day,
hey, I just be having
any
fun, man.
opinion that
I don't
cannot
take
stand
nothing
up to,
personal, man.
if your opinion cannot stand up to any kind of scrutiny or questioning, then your opinion is not valid. If you got to twist stuff around and say shit like that, like, to me, that's like, I'm just gonna tell y'all, man, a lot of the debate that we be having, like I be seeing, like some people's show I couldn't even deal with. A lot of the debate is so rudimentary that it's ridiculous to even be involved in it. If you come to me right now and say, hey, this is how I feel about Bud Crawford, you lay out things, and I say, okay, but what about this, and that, and you rebut that and say something else, that's logical conversation. If you're having somebody who says, no, but he's the best and I don't care, those are weirdos, and you are dumbing yourself down even interacting with people like that, bro.
Oh no, that ain't those type people. I know what you're talking about. I
D-Lo,
don't mean extremists like that. Yeah.
D-Lo, ain't no the hardest extreme fan in the world is Bernie, and that one dude
Burn ain't a fan, man. I told you Burn ain't a fan.
He said
He don't
himself
I
he
don't look.
a fan. He said
Hey,
himself he a fan. He said himself he a fan, bro.
he a
So
boxing
that's
fan,
why.
but he team Bud. He ain't a Bud fan.
Okay, what about the dude that was standing next to him when Spence was talking to him, and Spence had to tell that nigga, "I'm not talking to you, nigga. Shut your motherfucking ass up."
He was with him at the fight. I guess that's part of the team. I don't know. I don't know who that dude was.
I'm just saying, you ain't got those kind of motherfuckers. He got an Instagram and Bernie got a YouTube. That's what I'm pretty sure he got some extreme followers up in that motherfucker too. I've been on Crawford Instagram. It's some extreme followers on there too, man. It just, I guess, the videos that you making, you know what I'm saying, or the videos that you commenting on, is somebody favoring somebody, you know what I'm saying? It's extreme fans everywhere, man.
Oh yeah, that's what
Marvin
I
has
was
some
just
extreme
saying.
fans too.
The dude I was talking about, the video I was just talking about, that was in the Extreme Bud fan. Like, he called Errol Spence Errol Sprints. You know what I'm saying? And this, that, and other, and I'd be like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? The dude, I be trying to, level it off, man. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they say what they want to say at their channel. I just ain't finna agree
Hey,
just because I'm there.
Hey,
I'm not gonna be like, yeah,
hey,
man, that's what he did. He ran out of there.
hey,
hey,
Iceberg
salute
Nerd.
the Iceberg Nerd. Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Iceberg Nerd in the super chat. Salute, fam. Appreciate you, bro. He said Spence beats Crawford, and I'm out this hoe.
Said he don't
Drop
want
that
no
mic,
argument
homie.
about that shit, man. Do your
He
thing.
dropping the mic on the motherfucker. Yeah,
Easy
man.
work.
Hey, look, that's the whole thing. Like you get your opinion. Ain't nobody trying to sway nobody. I hope you stand with your pick, because that's what a motherfucker make. That's what build up the fight. You know what I'm saying? And make it more exciting, more fun. To who you gonna serve your crow to? You know what I'm saying? Or whether you gonna eat crow that night. I ain't worried about you can't sway my opinion, man. You can say what you got to say, but I hope it be factual information though, not no biased statements. That's why I said about what you said about you agree with him about is really the media, but it's more than just that. It's him himself too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it don't,
Hey,
It's
I'm
Marlo,
not just agreeing with him, although I was already saying that before he said it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got several videos on my channel where I say the same thing. So it ain't just me agreeing with him. And to be honest, he agreeing with me. He just don't know that I said it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Nah,
but
but look, hey man, I
but what
agree with
about
what
you?
Marlo's. Oh, I'm
Why
sorry,
you not
brother.
holding him accountable though? Because it's him too. It's him, man. You know damn well you said out your own mouth who the man is, and he's telling everybody in the world that he the man at welterweight. Wherever he go, he the man, and he want this and he want that. You know what I'm saying? He the
Man,
favorite. He,
I can't say the man holding the fight for negotiation when they just sat there and told us ain't nobody negotiating. I
man,
mean, that's
I'm not talking
exactly
about
what
that.
Marlo,
I
that's
don't
what he
want
was
to talk
talking
about
about.
him.
He
I'm not
basically
telling him
said
what he
that.
shouldn't take, but I'm saying he is the problem also. Why he pointing the finger at everybody else but himself?
What made him the problem? What he doing that's make him the problem?
I, I
Because
just told you.
he won't take 60-40.
He being unrealistic. That's what he doing. He being
How
unrealistic
is he being
about being a
unrealistic,
big dog.
Marlo?
About being
Hey, Marlo, how is he being unrealistic when they ain't even came to the table? The man, that's what he was saying. He said all this stuff about 60-40 and all that is just stuff that's out there in the media. We ain't even negotiating. And then PBC done said the same thing. And then we got people come on here every single day and say Errol Spence Jr. is the man of his word. He ain't never lied to us. He said he gonna fight this person, that person, that person, and Bud gonna be last. So if Errol Spence is a man of his word and he doing all of those things, how can Bud take a 60-40 offer when it ain't a 60-40 offer to be took? I mean, I don't
see, like you
understand.
missing my
I don't
point,
see
yo.
how those two
I'm
things
not
can
even
exist
I
at the
think
I'm
same
you. I
talking
think
time.
you diverted it, yo.
him putting that content out for all these people to be saying that. Now he pointing the finger at the media. The media is just only putting out shit that he said out his own mouth, is all I'm saying. This ain't got nothing to do with him not taking the 60-40. I'm saying he telling them he ain't taking that. He telling them that he this, and they repeating it. So
And Errol Spence Jr. said, "Take what we give you." You know what I'm saying? So come on, man. I
All
mean,
that. Hey,
I'm
look,
not
all
gonna
that.
hold
Hey,
either one
man.
of these dudes at what they say publicly. They need to come. They need to come to the table, but they can't do it by themselves. These people behind the scenes, who I'm in agreement with Bud, have been holding the fight up because when they come out publicly, they telling us that the fight ain't big. When they come out publicly, they telling us that these two guys. They didn't say just Bud. They said the two guys are going to want too much money. So PBC is affiliated with Errol, and they come out here and they tell you that Errol Spence gonna want too much of a guarantee too. And then Bob Arum said both of them gonna want too much of a guarantee. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like they trying to kill the fight before the fight can ever even get off the ground. And then to add insult to injury, they came out and said we won't buy the fight. You, me, everybody on this panel, every other fan who been running around here talking about this fight for the last 3 or 4 years, they had the audacity to say that we ain't gonna do nothing but steal the fight.
Hey, Bud
And
said
I'm
that.
and I'm
Hey,
supposed
Bud
to
said that
somehow
same shit, bro.
I'm somehow supposed to blame that on Bud.
Yeah,
hold
cause
up.
look. Hey, look.
Wait
Let,
a minute.
hey, let me jump in here.
Hold up. Bomac is the one who been fucking buying, looking at illegal streams, nigga. Spence been supporting. Spence done went to a couple of his fights. Spence
Man,
watched all his
I
fights.
don't
What
know
are you
what Bo
talking
Mac
about?
do at his house, man. I don't listen to that nonsense they be talking
No,
about.
but this ain't got nothing to do with what he do in his house. So this is what he told the world, bro. He
But
said that.
I'm talking about you talking about something totally different. I'm talking about what Tim Smith with the zone said about the Bud versus Spence fight. He said Bo Mac ain't supposed to buy the fight. Bo Mac is supposed to be in the corner at that fight. So what Bo Mac do ain't got nothing to do with this fight. He said the fans ain't gonna buy the fight. We're gonna steal the fight. So therefore, that's their excuse why they ain't even came to the table to try to make the damn fight. I'm
Man, you
not
talking
making
about
an
the
excuse.
zone?
I'm not gonna make an excuse for these people who can
Ain't
actually
that a
make stuff
competitor
happen,
deal?
man.
And so you sitting here taking a statement from a competitor, the zone.
Man,
And
this is a PBC said this. This ain't the zone.
I thought you just said the zone, brother. That's what
Tim
you just
Smith. If I said that, I meant Tim Smith with PBC said this. He said we won't buy the fight. He said these guys are gonna want too much of a guarantee. Now he's speculating. He said they don't want to make an offer to Crawford. They don't want to insult the guy. And then he said, you know, like basically, man, I'm telling you, he said the same thing Bob said. He just said it differently. But they basically both in both cases, they said that these guys are gonna want too much money. The fight ain't big enough. But then Tim Smith went a step further and said he said that same nonsense that Leonard Ellerby be saying. we gonna steal the fight. Man, if there was ever a fight that I've been clamoring and ready and willing to shell out some money for, is this fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, I mean, me telling y'all ain't gonna matter, but I mean, I'm just being honest, man. Like I don't hear people talking about, man, I can't wait for them to fight so I can go stream it. Like people talk about the fight, they gonna stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, people be really genuinely talking about want to go see this fight and want to pay and don't mind paying to see it. Of course, if they put it on regular Fox, we'll be glad. But we know that ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's an insult to the fans and the consumer for them to come out and just make assumptions and say that we ain't gonna support the fight and to basically act like that's an excuse for them not to make the fight. That's pitiful, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was pitiful when Bob said it too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like it when Bob said it. I don't like it with them saying it. And I just feel like they need to, you know what I'm saying? They need to come to the table and work with these guys on trying to make this fight and get the fans the fight that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? We supporting all these other fights in the interim because we want this fight. You know what I'm saying? They need to do their job. And they need to stop making assumptions and do what they're supposed to do and try to get this fight over the line.
Look, hey, I think like this, bro. At the end of the day, like, you know, you made some valid points, but us beefing over the fight is what makes the fight interesting and makes people want to buy it. What Crawford said this weekend when he was in the UK, and it's strategic. I don't know why he felt necessary to go over there and say, oh, well, you know, black people, we always gotta be like, I don't even know why you're even saying that in that audience context. He wasn't talking about the media, he was talking about us. And he made it out that was the reason why the fight was getting made. And then so I'm like this, we all know full well that all the fights that we've enjoyed the best is when black people are beefing with each other and we got different sides because we're gonna go out there and show out and we go look, the biggest consumer in this country is black folks, man. So to sit there and for him to say that, this, I don't know, either he's naive or I don't know what the hell he be thinking, but you can say stuff about all these little side commentators. You can say stuff about all these dudes. This is Bud Crawford on a world stage talking about, well, black people, you know, they're the reason why, you know, the way he said that to imply like we're the reason that nothing's going on. It just, that's, regardless of how you feel about him as a boxer, that's what a lot of people like me's problem with him is like, why would you even say that? Why, like, do you not have the understanding that us beefing with each other is what's going to sell the fight? The whole reason that Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather sold 4 million is because Pacquiao fans hated him and Mayweather fans hated, and it is sold. So why is it when we as a black community can concentrate on two fighters, pick our side, support the fight, why is it all of a sudden he has to downgrade it, act like it's a problem? That's that same Leonard Ellerby stuff. That's that same bullshit. So Bud's on that same crap. So he has to take responsibility for that. And he doubled down this weekend. And it's just like, why are you even saying that?
Well,
like, it was unnecessary.
The thing with Bud, though, is like, I done seen cats say that cats don't even be Bud fans. They just be like PBC haters or Spence haters. The thing is, like, we got this whole, we got a movement, right? And then, like, I mean, shout out to Black Fight Fan and everything, but he from Texas, right? He's supposed to be riding with Spence. But you got a lot of people under the sound of that man's voices who would just riding with Spence because he rode with Spence. And a lot of people was just like, you know, we PBC fans, we you know, we champion the black company, blah, blah, blah. And they was anti-Bud. And they was accusing people of riding with Bud because they was anti-black and all this weird ass shit. So Bud saw all that shit too. So I think that's kind of where Bud is coming from with shit like that. So, yeah.
Man, that's bullshit. He shouldn't say that in the open public like that.
King talking about beefing. Like, I ain't beefing with nobody over no boxing. I just love the conversation. I ain't beefing with that motherfucker over their opinion on no boxing. All them shits certain motherfuckers be doing, that's on them. But we ain't beefing at all over here. Just a conversation. And if that man did say that, and for the best interest of the company, D-Lo, he should be fired. And I don't even know why that's even a reference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't name a fighter where Spence ran from or ducked from. And if I recall, I just heard Spence say after him and Ugas fight, he gonna be going after Crawford anyway. So
And
that
Spence said
9
that.
points.
Spence said that after Tim Smith said what he said. That's what I'm saying. Tim Smith said what he said about a month ago now, and that's what I'm saying. Like my issue with what they said, you know what I'm saying, what Tim Smith said, he's like assistant director of communications or whatever, you know what I'm saying. I mean, he the only one that came out. That's all you can go by. You don't hear Al Heyman coming out talking about the fight. Sam Watson ain't coming out talking about the fight. Kelly Swanson ain't coming out talking about the fight. He the one came out and said that, and instead of saying something positive about the fight, he basically came out and, in my opinion, took a crap on both of the fighters, saying that they gonna want too much money. You know
But
what I'm saying?
that shit ain't gonna stop the fight though. Not in my
I mean,
opinion.
it
Ain't
ain't
gonna hurt
helping.
the
It
fight
didn't
at
help the
all.
fight. It didn't help
And
the fight, bro.
he could be a mole because most of them motherfuckers is hired from ESPN.
Yep.
But all I was trying to
No,
say,
this guy didn't just come out of nowhere, man. This guy worked for PBC. I mean, I've been
yeah,
seeing this.
no, you ain't hear what I said. I didn't say he came from nowhere. I said most of the people PBC hired came from another company, HBO, ESPN, Showtime. They came from another company, bro. They could be moles. Most of them motherfuckers got
Hey,
relationships with Bob Arum. Even though they work for PBC, they got relationships for Bob Arum.
let me say this about the what Bud said. All right, what my whole thing that I took away and what I said I'm in agreement with is when he talked about the division and there's a divide and like I said in my post, you know, a lot of people can come on here today and act like Bud Crawford, like they can't stand Bud. He the worst thing, you know, he overrated, he this, he that, and the same thing with Spence, right? But a lot of those people before Errol Spence and Bud Crawford were mentioned as opponents, they were fans of both of those guys. They were supporting both of them, diehard fans of both guys. And then when they became rivals or whatever, or potential rivals, that's when that divide came. And a lot of that it takes it like it ain't just a matter of people saying, I got Spence to win the fight on Ryan for Spence. We got fans making arguments about how much money these guys should get. We got fans telling other fans that they need to tell a fighter how much money he should take or what split he should take. I feel like a fighter should have a problem with that. You know
Hey,
what I'm
but
saying?
look,
I think a fighter should have a problem with fans tear, you know, just going out of their way to tear these guys, tear these two fighters down for the sake of building up the other one. It ain't necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like what these guys have accomplished on their own merit, it's gonna stand. Like if I'm a Spence fan, I don't have to tear Bud down to make Spence look good. If I'm a Bud fan, I don't have to tear Spence down to make Bud look good. But
But
when you look at the landscape, when you look at the landscape of what you see and hear every day, I promise you, that's what you get. When you go to one, like man, I went to a live stream before I came over here. Kel
But
Brook was on
Dilo,
the.
but
Let me finish this,
how they got
Marlon.
to, I
Yeah,
just
like
got a
two,
question because
like 1 minute. Let me
I
finish
just
1
want
minute.
people that's gonna be listening to this video later. I mean, and motherfuckers that's listen, how they got to do with us? Like we wasn't talking about that.
No, we talking about what Bud talking about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what Bud is speaking on something he's seeing. He ain't imagining this, and I'm telling you, I see the same stuff, and that's what I've been speaking on.
But
So,
when
Well,
it was in this, but when he
D-Lo,
was there
wait,
with
hold on.
ESPN, D-Lo, they was
huh?
talking the same junk. When he was with Bob Arum, the fans were saying the same shit, and he was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see what's the difference here. That's why I say he
Hey,
blaming everybody but himself. Because
my point. What I don't know that he was cool with it
what
or
he
not.
came out of his own mouth.
The man answered the question that he was asked, right? He was being interviewed. He answered the question that he was asked. I'm telling you that before he was interviewed, I've been making videos saying the same thing. I got countless videos on my channel saying Errol Spence Jr. is a great fighter in his own right. We don't have to overhype him. We don't have to tear down Bud to make him look good, and vice versa. And when this man come out and say what he said, to me, it spoke to me that the man is seeing some of the same thing that I'm seeing and hearing. That when you go across the landscape of social media, when it comes to boxing, you don't see it ain't just about Bud. You see both of these guys being tore down and overly criticized by the other fan base, which to me is the same fan base. Because like I said, before these guys were rivals, none of these fans that were fans of Spence were down in Crawford. Not from what I saw, and vice versa. But it wasn't until they became potential opponents and people had to pick a side. And now everything one guy does is overly scrutinized. Everything the other guy does is overly scrutinized. You got a community of fans who used to be one, working hard as hell to tear down one fighter or the other for the benefit of the other fighter. But what's happening is, as a result, we get further and further away from making that fight. And if y'all think I'm making this up, the closest situation to this, when it comes to two black fighters in recent memory, is Joshua and Wilder. I know we had two different countries involved, but you had people who were fans of both of those fighters, because I was a fan of both of them. But when they became potential opponents, you all of a sudden had guys just tearing down one guy's resume, tearing down the other guy's resume. He ain't done this. He a hype job. No, he a hype job. He this, he that. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? We didn't get the fight. I'm not saying,
but at the same time, though, I understand what you're saying, bro. I ain't even been speaking. I just been sitting back here listening to shit. But that's just go on mute real quick because I'm echoing.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's really like the nature of modern day boxing. Like once you get the internet and shit involved, you got fans that can argue about fighters 24 hours around the clock. It didn't used to be like that, like with Sugar Ray Leonard when he fought against Thomas Hitman Hearns. Both sides are trying to get more extreme with their comments and shit. They want to say something more hurtful than the last and shit so they can feel like they won. And like when you be talking about shit like that, people like us, we got to remember that you ain't talking about us, because I ain't had now conversation about their purses. I have not had one fucking conversation about their purses. If me saying that I'm critical of his strength of schedule because I don't see that as no pound for pound number one shit, if that's me tearing him down, well, fucking, I'm guilty. I don't give a fuck. That's my opinion. But I keep it boxing, though. It ain't even about all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So I actually do feel like you got a point. I agree where you're coming from, man, because I do see both sides. But it's the same thing with like Mayweather and Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? The motherfucker was tearing each other down. I guess it might have contributed to delaying the fight. Maybe, I guess. But it still made it very lucrative the way King of Kings said. It's a such thing as being a fan and an anti-fan. You know what I'm saying? And then like when you say it's the same fan base, that shit do sound kind of profound, I guess. But it's a black fan base. For the most part, the black fans are going to support the black fighters. So naturally, it's the same fan base. That's really not a big deal to me. But once you choose sides and you got this shit on the internet and they going back and forth at each other 24 hours a day, that argument will evolve. It'll go from just boxing. It'll start turning into some other shit.
Yeah,
so if that's
personal.
Hold on, let me finish. I'm almost done. So if that's something that's bothersome to a motherfucker, you just got to get used to it, nigga. That's the landscape of modern day boxing. Fan bases get real toxic, I guess they like to say, with each other when it comes to that shit. It just is what it is.
Well, see, I agree with you on that. It's just the nature of modern boxing and all of that. But to reiterate the point I was saying before, we got a group of people that's standing up against racism in boxing now, and some people from that same clique was saying that you liking Bud because you anti-black, and like, I mean, can you imagine that somebody saying that about you and you black? So this man born and raised on American soil, like he a descendant of American slaves. Like, why are people accusing you of liking him because you anti-black? And like
I understand that, bro. That's stupid shit. That's stupid
right.
shit to say, but it's still people fishing for something hurtful to say.
Right, but
you know what I'm saying?
I just want to put some light on Lala D comment, because she said his own people putting him down, and that she feel like that make him get in his feelings, and I agree with that. I can see why he would, but I just want to point out that she said that.
Hey, that's why I was lost. That's why I was lost for a minute. Like, we don't even talk about that kind of shit. We went from talking about skills and resumes to feeling like a motherfucker saying that we talking about their person. Like,
like I said, Marlo, I was just talking about what he said and where I feel like that may be coming from.
Yeah. I heard when you said it. That's why I just was listening to you from now.
But low key, man, I feel like this, man. That's just that's the nature of, like Trex was saying, that's the nature of boxing. That's the nature of sports, period, right now. Like, let's be honest. If we were talking about the NBA right now, nobody's going to say a black fan that says that LeBron ain't shit. We ain't going to be like, oh, he's going. It doesn't matter. To me, it's like this. When they were having those fights and you had like Barrera versus Morales and all that, I promise you, all Mexican fans were fans of every fighter. You had sides, they fought, they scrapped it out. One person lost, we kept moving on. The division of the fan isn't why these fights weren't happening, bro. Like that, you bringing up the Joshua Wilder fight, that's just a whole nother realm of shit. That what is more of a reflection is that the fans don't have control of boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's what that more of a reflection is, because we don't get the fights we want. We don't get the interactions that we want. We get given a schedule, and this is kind of really the only sport where you have that. So I think people almost get used to the bickering, and they don't even ever get the chance to see the fights. And that's what, you know, and that's the biggest problem that we have in boxing. It's not us taking sides and thinking one fighter has more. Like, I don't look at boxers that, yeah, of course, if I see a black dude fight a white dude and I don't know who they are, I'm gonna pick the black dude. Well, whatever. Oh well. But if I'm comparing skills to skill and they're both black dudes, I'm gonna have to pick one or the other. It just because I pick one or the other doesn't mean I hate the other dude.
Hey, but think about it though, man. There's been plenty of time where we had big fights with black fighters. I'm pretty sure we didn't have the internet, but I'm pretty sure those people that was at the bar the day before or the club or something was going back and forth about the different fighters they had. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wasn't just going to pick one certain fighter. So just having that conversation, it shouldn't hurt nobody, man. It should be embraced. Now, I don't know about the disrespectful comments, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure that's been around too.
But hold on though, bro. Hold on though, bro. If me and you talking in person, the likelihood of the conversation being more respectful and staying on track on boxing is higher. But once motherfuckers is behind keyboards with that anonymity, and you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, and ain't no ramifications, them comments can go left real quick. And like when it comes to Spence and Crawford, I don't even see that as being indifferent from Charlo versus Andrade. That's just as fucking volatile. So whatever Crawford is complaining about, Andrade can say the same thing. His own people been tearing him down, saying all kind of fucked up shit about him, calling him a coon, Uncle Tom, and all kind of shit. So what? It ain't no different. It's the same thing. You got internet motherfuckers with a lot of time on their hands and a lot of energy to go back and forth on some shit, and they trying to tear each other down, and they gonna say whatever they can to say the most fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing.
And look,
Andrade actually did.
When the motherfucker say something stupid, D-Lo, ask them motherfuckers who if they talking about Crawford, ask them who did he win to win his goddamn WBO title. I bet you they can't even answer that shit.
I don't even engage them cats, man. When they start talking personal and stuff like that, man, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? If they insult these fighters, like I told y'all, man, I already had a dude threaten to do bodily harm to me because I said Bud got dropped against Mean Machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude was serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, you know, basically like, want to know where I'm at and all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't. So after that.
Hey, was it Bernie?
No. I mean, it's actually a dude. I don't even know. The dude got a channel, but it ain't a boxing channel. But we was on somebody else's channel together, and I was commenting on the other dude's video and saying, yeah, man, Bud got dropped. You know what I'm saying? And it was like right after the fight, man. And I was like, and I was talking to, you know, and the crazy thing was, me and the dude was basically making the same argument, just in a different way. But he couldn't see that me and him were saying the same thing. And he just started attacking me, talking about, you know, what he'll do to me, this, that, and the other. And I was like, okay, man, whatever. So
were y'all typing these messages to each other?
That's the thing. See, that's why I don't even like me and my wife, I don't even text. I tell her, hey, man, we got to pick up the phone. You know,
yeah, because man, and the motherfuckers don't even be reading your messages, bro.
Hey, the truth hurts. The truth hurts, D-Lo. Especially look what Bud did after the fight when they asked him about getting dropped. He said,
right, Bud said, like, he remember that or something like that. But you know, my point was, like, the dude really took it personal, man. Like, I was attacking Bud, and I don't know what's his connection to Bud, the way he felt the need to attack me. Even if I had said something derogatory, like, why does that matter so much to you? So I don't like get into that situation. But so even like when I hear people saying all this stuff, tearing down these guys, I might make a video saying, you know, like, hey, man, I don't feel like this is what we need to be doing. But I'm not gonna sit there and get in the comment section and be like, hey man, you don't need to be talking about that man mama. You don't need to be talking about that man drinking or whatever the case may be. You know, I just leave it alone, man. That's what they want to do, that's what they do. But I mean, I look at it as okay, well, that's some content. I can go on my channel and talk about how I don't really feel like that's our lane. That's what we should be proponents of if we really talking about moving the sport of boxing forward. But you know what I'm saying? But to each his own, man. But like I said, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to cape for these fighters, but I'm not trying to tear them down either. And I will say this about Andrade. Andrade, before Bud said what he said, Andrade basically had a meeting with the zone where he basically said the same thing. He said he basically said the fans in the media, you know what I'm saying, need to start pushing for these fights. And he was saying some of the same stuff Bud said. Now he wasn't making the same complaints because the situation is different. But he was basically saying that, you know, he can't make these fights by himself. And then and it was really more so a challenge to the zone, which he should be, you know, because that's who he fight on. And he was basically saying that instead of them, you know, doing all this other stuff, they need to be trying to push for these guys to fight him. And he said he need the media and he need the fans to push for these fights too, because him pushing for it ain't making it happen. So, you know what I'm saying? You do have other fighters who, you know what I'm saying? And if there is another fighter, like Trey said, Andrade, you know, is a logical candidate, and Andrade really do catch it, man. Like Andrade is like a whooping boy for boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll say it, black boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't mind, you know, like they'll praise another fighter for something, for getting ducked. He's like, oh man, he get ducked, he avoided, but then it's Andrade's fault. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he made bad business decisions. He did this, he did that. And they're like, man, who are we to talk about these fighters?
Hey man, but D-Lo, it can't just be one answer or the other. Like, yo, maybe there's some validity to that. Now, the zone deal was not a bad one. He went over like if we were asking Crawford to go to the PVC, Andre did that version at 160 when he went to the zone. That's where all the 160 pounder is. But prior to that, he did have a bad deal. So it's not. That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm gonna tell you, this is the worst part about having discussion, especially in social media. It's like extremists. It's either one or the other. No, sometimes there's some fine details. Maybe at one point in time you could have said that, but when he went to the zone, that changed. The problem there is he went to the zone, and the people there still didn't get him no fights. So it's not like you can't say, oh, well, you give them this one criticism. No, because criticism can evolve. You can make different mistakes, or you can do correct moves differently, or things change over time. So, yes, somebody may be able to say that to him 3 years ago, but you can't say that to him after he went to the zone, because he went to where all the 160 pounders were there. So, but that doesn't make it invalid before then when somebody was saying that about him. So,
but hold on, no, Kim Folk. But once he went to the zone at 160, the narrative didn't change. It didn't evolve.
That's what I'm saying. But who you talking to who's giving you that context? That's what I'm saying. Like, my biggest thing when Andre went to the zone, I was like, okay, cool. Because going to the PVC would have been pointless, because I had the same criticism for Jamal Charlo being at the PVC at 160, where there's no 160 pound fighters. And that's where he's at. So you doing the same thing that I had a problem with Bud doing, being at Top Rank. So Andre goes over there. He signs with these people. He has a promoter sitting there on the table next to one of the fighters he wants to fight, and the shit ain't happening. That ain't Andre's fault, but it's just like, at what point in time do you take responsibility for that? The fact that you got duped by these dudes, they signed you there, and they ain't got you no fights, and there's no rationale for it. And maybe he's not allowed to say nothing out loud. That's the other thing that we don't take into context. These dudes may not be able to publicly criticize their employer, but hold
on, King of Kings. If there is some rationale, he's ducked. Like, he literally had a fighter that was the number one contender to fight him, but with the mandatory Mongia, and he turned it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the perfect opportunity. He over there under the same umbrella. He with the zone. He got Mongia. He the mandatory, and Mongia turns the shit down. That's the rationale. The man is ducked. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say all those fights in the zone that don't get made, Mongia, Triple G. I hate that he ain't ever fought him, but in my book, I consider those wins because them bitches didn't never even want to fight the dude. So those are wins. Like, you didn't ran out of a position to fight a guy that's right there. You're not even trying to fight him at all.
GGG said he ain't fighting him neither.
Yeah, Triple G. I'll throw Canelo in there.
Murata too.
Yeah. So it's not It's not
Devin
like people
Chico.
saying they not going to fight him. There's people that's on record saying they're not. They are not. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
are not.
so that's where you can give Andre the props because he went to where the smoke is, and these motherfuckers is cowards. So what people don't realize, like right now, like we just got to keep the narrative live, evolve into what it is now. This guy went to where the fights was. He had 4 or 5 people, like just like I feel like when Rigondeaux got dug back in the day, and everybody moved up in weight to avoid him. It's the same situation. We're all in the same mantra. None of you fought. So that's 4 wins that I'm sorry will never be on his record, but I consider you got wins against them dudes because these cowards wouldn't even fight you, and they were getting paid the most money to do it there. So
Hey, D-Lo, here go another point too. You got fans like Canelo fans. They say he ain't fought nobody, or he ain't got no fans. Like what he bring to the table, even if he mandatory. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah,
some fans that,
a lot of them say that. Not just Canelo fans. A lot of fans say that. I mean, Charlo fans have said that. And
who,
like Charlo just a world beater. You know, they've said that Andrade ain't fought nobody.
yeah, I ain't heard that from Charlo fans.
yeah, I ain't heard that either.
I only
Hey,
heard
but
that
at the
from
same time, to keep it 100, we ain't saying that Andrade ain't got no culpability in this shit. He was in a fight with Charlo and he pulled out the fight. He had his reasons, but he did pull out the fight, and that is something that I wish he wouldn't have done. I think his story could be different if he had stayed in that fight and potentially got that win. You know what I'm saying? But we also just want to have the whole entire picture in this shit. Like since then, the motherfucker done some pretty gangster shit. He done pulled up on Charlo. He done pulled up on Canelo, calling Canelo all kind of bitches and
True.
shit. And you
Pull
know
up
what I'm
on
saying?
Triple
All
G
kind of
too.
stuff.
Mhm.
Pulled up
He
on
made
Triple G.
videos
He's like,
about them. He drove them.
yeah, yeah. We just look at the
Hey,
whole entire picture.
but even before he went to the zone, right? Like people talk about his bad business. Before he went to the zone, he signed with HBO, where Canelo and Triple G was at. You know what I'm saying? He went over there and signed with them, and then Canelo and Triple G killed HBO. So, you know what I'm saying? Then after that, the man had to find a home, and that's when the zone came. You know what I'm saying? But nobody talks about that. You know what I'm saying? Like they just skipped that whole phase. Like he just been out here just fluttering around, and Eddie Hearn just saved him. You know, the man had signed a multi-fight agreement with HBO. That's where he fought Atlantis Fox on HBO. You know, I know Trey X remember that fight. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like the man went out there making moves. You
Hey,
know,
D-Lo,
everybody.
you gonna have to start putting names on people who's saying this. Like when you speaking generically about a group of
But
random
I'm
people that
just
you
saying,
chatting with,
Trey
like
X.
who are you talking about? Like who said that? I don't like. I can sit here all day and tell you, hey, somebody told me the Earth is flat, man.
Oh,
That
you
don't
just
mean
said
shit.
that said
People say
yourself
all
that
kind of crazy stuff. Who
you just
said
said
that?
yourself that you
When?
hear the same narrative that I hear. You just said that. Then you just
No,
say
I'm just
that
saying,
you
like,
hear the
yo, but
bad
no,
business.
that's no, I no, you saying it like I'm saying this is people just blurting out stuff with ink without no factual context to it. But you like saying like,
Okay.
who cares? People say weird shit all the time. It don't mean
All right.
anything, bro.
Let me put a name on it. King of Kings just said that before Andrade signed with the Zone, he had done bad business. Okay, I'm saying before he signed with the Zone, he went and signed with HBO for a multi-fight deal where Triple G and Canelo was at, and he went and fought Atlantis Fox as his first fight. He moved up from 154, went to their division at 160, fought probably the biggest middleweight in the division at the time, and went out there and styled on him. You know what I'm saying? And then after that,
He
before he
became
could get a chance,
mandatory. He became
before he could
mandatory
get a right, but before he could get a chance to get another fight on the network, Canelo and Triple G killed the Zone. I mean, killed HBO.
because they ducked.
Okay, okay,
They
so yeah,
dropped their
all right,
belt. They
like
dropped their
I'll
belt.
give you that. I might have missed adding that in there, but did that 2-fight deal that he had? Did it have one of them 2 guys on it?
It wasn't a 2-fight deal. I mean, he went to the network to.
Yeah, so it went out of business. That's not a bad. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about before when he's with the little place that had him sitting on the shelf for a while because he's sitting there having a contractual issue with whoever was his
Yeah,
management at the time.
he bought those guys out, man.
Yeah,
So
that's what
that's
I'm saying.
another.
That's the only bad business place where people could say maybe make some criticism, and that's not bad business. That's just somebody young in the game, maybe making one believing in a group of people that you should have. That's cool. You don't hold that against his whole career. But I'm saying, like I was saying, as an evolving statement, just because I made that statement isn't a blanket statement for his whole career, and nothing's changed ever since then. And he's never done anything right. Like, yo, man, like okay, he made this mistake, but he's made several good mistakes since then. I mean, that was a good mistake, but he's made several good decisions since then. And I can't fixate and act like one thing didn't happen and he didn't evolve past that. That doesn't mean that's his narrative, man. Like, yo, people, this is the same mentality why we can't have a guy take a loss, because now it's the end of the world. He lost. Now he's terrible. Like, yo, man, sometimes people make mistakes.
D-Lo, let's be fair. The Zone fucked up all kinds of bags. They fucked up the AJ Wilder fight. That could have been a big fight. They fucked up the Triple G versus Boo Boo. That could have been one of their big fights. Who else? They done fucked up.
You know why? Because the Zone only wanted Canelo versus Triple G. So Andrade was never in the plans.
But Canelo said he wasn't fucking with Triple G and made it clear to the Zone that it wasn't no more Triple G fight.
And they still signed Triple G. And now what fight do you hear that Canelo's supposed to be fighting? See what I'm saying? Yeah. So apparently they finally finna get their return on that investment, or at least they think they are.
Well, could it be Chris Rainey in here too? He probably disagree. But could it be that he running from that smoke, that Andrade and that Charles smoke?
Hey, I ain't got no quarrels with D-Lo tonight. He gave Canelo an 8. I'm so proud of him. Like I got nothing to say against him tonight, bro. Nothing to say against D-Lo tonight. I'm on his side for everything. You need help in this battle, D-Lo? I'm with you.
But yeah, I was going to say.
Hey, where was you at when I was getting drunk in Smoke's backyard?
Hey, I was trying to get on, man. Hey, I'm here now. Hey, I'm here now. Better late than never, bro.
Hey, let me say this, man. The thing that bothered me about the Andrade shit, if people want to like criticize and business moves and shit, people gonna talk business anyway, man. So that ain't really my thing. But when people be saying that the man is trash, if he fight David Benavidez, he gonna get stopped in 4 rounds and all this old crazy shit. That's what be throwing me off, man, because like I'm seeing a monster in the ring. And when I look at boxers, a lot of the time I like to like imagine myself in front of them. And when I look at Andrade, I just know that's a motherfucking matrix, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say I just wouldn't want to be in front of him because I ain't scared of no man, but I know that'll be some tough shit, man. I'll probably get my ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? Like I can probably confidently say I'll probably get my ass kicked pretty bad by Andrade. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand how people can say, oh yeah, man, this motherfucker ain't got no chance against Canelo. He gets stopped in 6 rounds. I was like, damn. Like, y'all really think this man is trash like this? You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it, man. AIBA world champion, man. 2007, man. It was a 14-year fucking drought before we got another one, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this is a bad dude in this ring. And I think he got action at beating any of them. You know what I'm saying? That's like in his weight class and shit. Square business.
I think
the salute, fam.
I agree with Trey. I think if Canelo will not fight Andre unless he has to, no matter what. Unless there's a belt standing in the way of undisputed, he is not going to fight Andre. That's the only way. That's what I feel about that.
He didn't fight him then. I mean, I don't think there's a scenario in which you can make Canelo fight Demetrius Andrade.
Exactly. I mean, so he ain't going to fight him.
He done drew a hard line and said he'll never fight the guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't see any way, unless everybody in boxing said they're going to stop him from getting money unless he fight Andrade, which ain't going to happen. You know what I'm saying? The dude ain't fighting. Andrade can go up and become mandatories and do whatever. I mean, I put it like this. Canelo is a prideful dude. I feel like if the fans would have demanded, and I mean his fans, not just boxing fans, he would do it. But I don't see that because when you listen to what his fans say, they say the things Trey X just got done saying about Andrade. They say he ain't nothing. He ain't never beat nobody. Martin Rosen's best win. He'll get stopped in 4. You know, all of that. So, you know, that's never going to happen.
And if people really thought he'd get stopped in 4, then Canelo would fight him in a heartbeat. That's bullshit when people say that.
Hey, Kim Folk, and I'm going to put an address on that shit he just said. And that's my nigga CSM HBJ dog all day long. And I know he ain't going to mind saying it because that's my nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he be the main one area. Man, that motherfucker Andrade, his best win with Martin Royce, and he ain't shit. He'll get knocked out in 4-5 rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Chris Ray, you build a salute, bro. Blessings, man.
See what I'm saying? Charlo fans say that stuff too. That's what I was saying.
And that's why
I've heard that before. Oh, I'm sorry. I heard that before.
It's all good.
What?
But yeah,
Oh,
man,
yeah,
that's
man. That's real
problem. Like
talk
a lot of
though.
motherfuckers, I don't know. I wouldn't even go back and forth with because motherfuckers don't even talk. They don't even talk skill, breaking down the skill. You know what I'm saying? They can't even go back and forth with. So they gotta throw an insult, or they gotta talk money, or they gotta say who has he fought that he ain't fought nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about.
But you throw that argument out the door when you fight, when you have Canelo strength, when you fight an Ibram or whoever that was, you can't never say who has he fought and blah blah this and that, because evidently that doesn't matter. So if you're like, that's what I'm saying. But like you said, Marlon, you can't, those people you can't even have a conversation with because they'll give you a, oh well, he ain't never fought nobody but this and that. But
Yeah,
Canelo just fought Rocky Fielding. Who the fuck has he fought?
right.
Oh well, okay, so that's not an argument. Just keep it a buck. He's Canelo's worst nightmare. We talking about a bigger, stronger, faster version of the who's the Cuban fighter that he fought.
Laura.
Lord,
Yeah, Laura. We talking about a bigger, faster version of him with probably maybe a little more skills, a little busier. Ain't no way in hell you want to fight. Let's keep it real. You don't want to fight that dude.
And he's
So
young.
just say that.
and let me be
Well,
clear.
listen,
Let me
man.
be clear. Let me be clear. Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna give it to you. Let me be clear. Ain't nothing wrong with picking Andrade to get stopped. We ain't saying that. Like if you take Charlo to stop the motherfucker, okay, that's cool. But it ain't because Andrade is a scrub or a bum. It's because Charlo is a good fighter. You know what I'm saying? And that's just where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? If you pick him to get stopped, man, you pick him to get stopped. But it's not because Andrade is a fucking bum. It's because Charlo can fight too, and that motherfucker can hit. You know what I'm saying?
Charlo ain't
So
beat no
with
damn
boxing. But go
Andre.
ahead, bro.
Oh yeah, but
I don't think he'll
I
beat
just
him
want
either,
to
but I'm just saying.
Social
I just
science.
want to say, Andrade is my dude, but I think it was D'Lo that just said that Canelo didn't want to fight him during COVID. I'm all about keeping the truth out there, even though Andrade is my dude. But during COVID, Canelo did send him an offer. It was reported, but he was like, "Nah, I want to beat him in front of people." So he turned it down and was like, he was gonna wait until they could get crowds back. So
Please don't
I
tell me
think
that's
Canelo
true.
did try to fight him.
I had to see that somewhere because nowhere Andre has maintained, even if you go back to his latest interview, that Canelo
Mm.
has never accepted a fight with him, and he been calling this man all kind of bitchs and everything. And you would think that Canelo would have brought that up at that press conference too when he was
And
asking
another
for a fight.
thing,
Yeah, maybe
exactly.
that
And
was some
another thing,
bullshit.
if that was true, that shit will be all over the internet, man. I'm talking about the Andrade haters. They will be all over that
Yep.
shit, bro. And this is my first time I ever heard of no shit like that, man.
Now
So
I did
I'm
hear that he
skeptical
tried to
about
fight
that one.
Plant one time, and Plant turned it down.
Yeah,
Now I
I
remember
ain't
that.
heard no shit like
Yeah,
that.
social
I heard
sciences. Did you have the paper upside down?
I'm gonna see if I can find it, man, because I
I,
did read that.
I
Yeah,
heard an
find
offer,
that.
but this was like a long time. Well, this was like years back,
What
but
they offer him
not anytime
$2?
soon, huh?
$2 in the what do you offer him? $2 or something, nigga?
And
Anything
a
will be an
jersey.
offer.
He should have
Hey,
took
two
that.
Nah,
dollars.
this was when he was around 160. I heard an offer.
Hey, he offered him $2 in the michelada.
And a jersey, bro. And the zone hat.
In the Corona. The
Hey, he
Corona.
said
Go
that. He said, "Here's your payday. You want payday? Here's your payday."
ahead.
Hey, I
$2 in
told y'all,
chicken.
man, Andre should have came way more harder at that press conference. He should have threw a cup of piss on Canelo. I bet you would have fought him then, nigga, because that would have been disrespectful. But no, I don't remember him. There ain't no way, like Trey said, if he had got any kind of offer, any kind of inclination of, you see how they bring up Charlo when they talk about the offer that they gave him. Every time you mention Andre name, they would be like, well, Canelo offered, he gave you an offer. Why didn't you take the fight? Why didn't you take the fight? Then ain't
Hey, so
nobody ever says that to him.
is he talking about he gave Boo Boo an offer?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
they
was
gave Boo
during
Boo an
COVID
offer.
though when they couldn't have crowds and shit. Andre was like, "I want to beat this dude in front of people," so he didn't take it.
Man,
So,
find that, bro.
I just can't see that,
I
man.
can't see
I
that.
just
I can't
that's
see it.
too big of an opportunity,
Yeah, he
bro.
don't talk like that.
Yes, that's too big, bro. I can't see. And
And
this is a man that's been starving for fights, and he gonna turn something down? No, I can't see it. And if it's true, I'm disappointed. But bro, I can't see it.
Yeah,
And then at the same time, like who did Canelo end up fighting instead of Andrade in that time? And that'll kind of give you an idea whether or not it was really an offer out there. Because if Canelo was up there fighting at 168, fighting Anthony Yildirim, right after he made Andrade an offer, that tell you everything you need to know.
Hey,
Hey,
don't go that. Don't go that way, D-Lo. I was on your side, bro, but don't go that way now. Come on.
hey, and let's keep in context. This is the same guy that he threw his belt away for, dropped his belt too.
And at the
But
same time, this is the only guy he's ever called a horrible fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think there's something to be said about that. Yeah, horrible fighter. That's he the only
Get the
person
fuck
he
out
ever
of
said
here.
that about. Why he didn't say that about Yildirim?
I think Andre is just too high risk, low reward for him. He's not gonna fight him unless I think the only way he ever fights Andre is if Andre like
$100
basically
million.
yeah, something like that, like a big fight. He puts himself in contention like that. If he goes and beats David Benavidez, then maybe he might get a fight. Maybe that, but that's pushing it. I think he's got to beat another person just to get that fight.
Man,
I think he gonna try
that
to.
would just validate how dangerous Andrade is, and I think that will make him not fight him even more.
Yeah, and maybe let him cool down. He might want to fight Andrade when he's about 36 or something. He probably think he's looking too good right now. Let me let this
Yeah, he want him
motherfucker
looking
cool
like
down.
Danny Jacobs style, just old and sloppy.
Yeah.
Then he'll fight him because that waiting for him, talking about waiting for, like I like I said, the low, like I hate that low reward. Whatever you have, I guess if he beats Benavidez and you say he has that on his belt at 168 and then he beats him, it's okay. But it's just the fact of the matter is he knows he's gonna have a difficult time with Andre. That's all there is to it, and it's not gonna be a guarantee for win at all.
hey, hold up. He ain't put no address. He said the corner allowed guests to join the panel and just lie, like it's going out of style. Who's lying?
That motherfucker super troll, man. Don't worry about hyphy.
Yeah, Hyphy got that moonshine. Be careful with him.
I think I know what he's talking about, but since he ain't put no address on it, I ain't gonna speculate.
No, he talking about. I guess he talking about the duck, the Canelo duck. Though. That's why I'm laughing. That he offered Boo Boo an offer. I don't
Well,
believe
since you the host, go ahead on.
whoever brought that up. I don't remember. I don't know if it was you or social scientist.
Yeah, it was me, but I can't find the article though. I don't know. Maybe it was some
That shit
bullshit that
ain't happened,
somebody
bro. You dreamed that
reported
shit,
and
my
took back.
nigga.
Nah, I read the
Yeah, that
little
nigga wished
article and
upon a
shit.
star.
He was on that. He was on that Jedi OG.
Nah, I didn't say the article because I didn't want to believe the shit was true. You know,
Nah, but
The Chronic.
Hey, there
Andrade, my
are a
dude.
lot of there are fake articles out there, man. 'Cause I ain't gonna say
yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
just gonna say
I'm
that.
not gonna say who the fighter was because I don't want to, speak it like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this: that I've seen an article of a fighter, and it talked about him getting shot like 9 times, and he died, and all this stuff. And I mean,
Curtis Jackson.
no, man, I'm serious. And this is an active fighter right now, and I could Google that right now and pull it up and send it to y'all, but I won't. But I'm just telling you that there are fake articles out there. So it could have been, it could have been something somebody made, you know what I'm saying, that just happened to live out there in the internet, you know what I'm saying? But like I
Hey,
said, I never
Yeah,
said anything
if you
about
do the research on them articles that are on some even the big platforms like Yahoo and stuff like that, if you look at the author and you pull that dude up, it could be anybody.
yeah,
Sometimes they don't even
it's
have
like
real names on
tabloid.
there.
Some of them are like
hey,
tabloid articles.
hey,
Yeah.
look, like D said, Canelo would have told Andre at the press conference, "I made you an offer." Instead, he said, "You never fought nobody. You're a horrible fighter." That makes sense.
Yep.
You
He
fight
never
with
was.
nobody.
Yeah, you fight with
Get the fuck out of here, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Coach,
can't be a scientist and not bring no evidence next time, bro.
hey,
Next
Coach
time from
Francis,
now,
I
I
think
need a direct documentation, Mr.
Nah,
hey,
but
Scientist.
I found something.
My bad.
I
I'm
found
slipping,
some.
bro.
the do be
Hey,
fake,
so
fake
it was
articles.
a report. I'm sorry, Marta. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it do be fake offers though. I mean, fake sites and shit be putting up these bullshit
So
articles.
there was one by Dan Rafael that said that there was an offer on the table from Canelo to Demetrius Andrade. It was on the Mexican Independence Day when he was supposed to fight Selecki around that time. So that was the time. I don't remember when that was, but it was Selecki when
Yeah,
around the time he fought Selecki.
yeah.
And who Canelo fought?
I don't remember who was he fighting around Selecki. When was
I'm
that?
about to
Do
go.
y'all remember?
Rocky
I'm
Fielding.
going to box red right now.
I'm
Rocky
trying to
Fielding.
see when that was, because if that was if that was during COVID, then that's when the article was that I read. Yeah, no, that was 2019 in
Yep, y'all
June.
know Dan Rayfield and what's the name? They done turned into some fake news, clickbait, and some
Yeah,
gun.
yeah.
Yeah, they is. Dan Redfield, terrible, man.
Hey, they be getting a lot of bad information. I don't even think they do it intentionally, man. I think they be getting trolled by their sources.
They don't confirm nothing, bro. It's not true journalism. It's so
Race,
worried because
race to
they're
be
having to
folks.
compete with guys like you that can come out and have information, more reliable information or takes on stuff faster. So they're trying to come out with it so fast. They just anything that gets thrown their way, they immediately he got offered this, and then they retract the story, but you don't even see the retraction because they just kind of pull the article. It's dumb stuff like that.
Right. So
I will
here's the
say this
thing:
for whatever.
COVID was in 2020, right?
2019 is when it started, ain't it?
When
It
we had
never ended,
No,
the
bro.
20,
lockdown.
April, it was like April
2020,
2020. April 2020, I think.
2020. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
tripping. My
So
bad.
that's when I heard that Canelo had put the offer out, so he was gonna get that last belt, right? Because he was trying to be undisputed. So in December of 2020, he moved up to 168 to fight what's his face, Callum. Well, he moved up to fucking 175 to beat Kovalev first. Then he settled at 168. So apparently he was supposed to get that last belt before he went up there to fight Kovalev, but he didn't for whatever reason. So either he ducked Demetrius Andrade or he sent the offer and Andrade turned him down. So
How
Yeah,
Mike
well,
said,
around that time when he was supposed to fight Andre, he also had a title defense on the table with so he basically had to fight Andre or Derevyanchenko.
yeah,
And they were trying, so the IBF was like, basically, if you're not gonna fight Andre undisputed, then you got to defend against Derevyanchenko. And somehow him and Oscar went on. This is the story they came out with. Canelo's side came out with was that Oscar somehow messed up and they didn't put it together in time, and that's how Derevyanchenko and Danny Jacobs ended up. Not Derevyanchenko, Danny Jacobs. That's how Canelo ended up losing that belt. However it came about, he ended up dropping that IBF belt.
yeah.
So I think at that time, who ended up fighting for that belt? I think it was Triple G and Derevyanchenko ended up fighting for the vacant belt later on. The vacant IBF. That's how Triple. Ain't that the belt Triple G got? The IBF.
I don't know if it
Yeah,
was just my shit, but
Yeah,
everything got
yeah.
quiet as a motherfucker.
that's what happened, D'Lo.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, man. And so that a lot of like some people use that as a defense for why Canelo didn't fight Andre for undisputed because he was gonna get stripped anyway. But the truth was that if he had fought Andre, the IBF wasn't gonna strip him. See what I'm saying? But somehow they couldn't come together. Eddie Hearn act like he was trying to make the fight. His videos out there where Canelo says Cuadro Titulos, where he's saying he want 4 titles. And but somehow they couldn't come together to make the Andrade fight, and he moved up.
Mm.
and how Mike said
Oh, he
Golden
moved
Boy,
up and fought. He moved up and fought Kovalev.
how Mike said
Yeah.
Golden Boy didn't want him to fight Boo Boo, so they never sent an offer. That was in the beginning of COVID. That was the beginning of the Golden Boy beef. He said that's the fact. That's the fact. And he said he ain't no Canelo fan. But shit, man, y'all ready to shut it down? Been on the motherfucker 3 hours and change. I gotta get up in the morning
Oh,
too.
we gonna shut it down, bro. That nigga asking us, do we want to shut down his shit?
No, I'm saying y'all. Who want to go first?
Who wanna go first? Go first, DeCane. What you got?
Man, this nigga always pick me to go first. Shit, I ain't got nothing, man.
We
If I
gonna
if
get
I
your breath
find
smelling ass out the way.
if I find the damn article, then I'll let y'all know. But look like that was some bullshit, and so
Nigga, have another one of them
I ain't
lucid
trying.
dreams and tell us about the article, bro.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, matter of fact, come back next time and tell us how the fight played out.
Oh, Andre won by decision. I already know that. Yeah. But yeah, man.
Chris, you want to say
Appreciate.
something? Oh, my bad. You still going? Go ahead, bro.
No, I just say appreciate y'all brothers having me on the platform once again, man. Good night, everybody.
Man, we be
It's
back
always
Monday.
a pleasure. Yeah, it's always a pleasure, my nigga.
I'm
What
glad.
about you, Chris? You want to say something, or you just chilling?
Nah, I just say, hey, I'm proud of D-Lo tonight, man. He finally stepped up to the plate. Hey, it wasn't until Trey got him cornered that he had to say something, but I mean, it came out, so I'm proud of him.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's funny
we
how
had to drop them draw foes on his ass today, Chris.
yeah when you get when you get jumped, you just gotta grab on the first thing you can.
Hey, now you was in my shoes for once tonight, bro.
Hold on, y'all. We trying to shut it down, man. Kim Folk, King of the Kim Folks.
Hey man, I want to say, hey, I want to say I appreciate the panel tonight. Hey, great conversation, keeping it boxing always. Salute. Have a good night.
Already, man. Definitely appreciate you coming through. What about you, Voice of Reason?
Same thing, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Been a good live stream as usual, man. I hope to catch y'all on the next one. I appreciate everybody in the chat as well.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate y'all coming through, getting on the panel and shit. Hey, man, I guess there ain't even no point of saying subscribe to their channel. Shit, we all family out from here. We all already know. And we're gonna come back on Saturday, man, for the little B-Hop fight and shit, man. He fighting a title eliminator against a guy that's 14-0 according to one time, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be in this bitch calling the frog out of well. I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, man. Much love to everybody. Salute to you.
Yeah, most definitely, man. For the people that's watching later on, man, we support everybody. Make sure y'all subscribe to everybody's social scientist. Voice of Reason, that's D-Lo 404 Boxing, King of King. And, you know, that's El Chapo, the production manager over here on the corner. But, man, appreciate all y'all, man. Great conversation, man. Be looking forward to it. We'll be back Monday to open up the panel if anybody want to get on. Talking about the regulars. We had some guy, he was in the chat, though. Appreciate you. What was his name? Kangaroo
Kangaroo
Boxing.
Kangaroo
Jack.
Jack.
Oh yeah.
Kangaroo
Oh,
Jack, man. His first
Kangaroo
time.
boxing.
We just ain't seen you and shit. But anyway, man, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Till
Let me
next
say
time.
this one thing, bro. Let me say this one thing. Y'all be on the lookout for the cartoon, man. We're gonna come back with some episode of the Uncle Nephew, man. That shit on the production right now. You know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout.
Yeah. Man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night. Till next time, don't forget to tell them haters and trolls. The fuck out my gym.
You
Peace.
heard him. G.